What's up? Happy Sunday, everybody. Let me get this down. Let's get our life together. All right, we got our life together here. Let's get this thumbnail up. It's almost time for Green Bay Packers versus the Cleveland Browns. Let's see what games I got going on. I got games on my TV, games on my computer. All right, sound check is good. Very good there. We got Atlanta taking on Carolina. On the TV, we got the Green Bay Packers going to Cleveland. Huntington Bank Field taking on the Cleveland Browns. I'm looking forward to this matchup for a couple reasons. I want to see if Kevin Stefanski is able to make adjustments. Let me just adjust my camera. All right, that's a little bit better. I want to see if Kevin Stefanski is able to make adjustments. And those adjustments I want to see is if he can help Joe Flacco identify what coverages the defenses are in, and if he can do things to beat those coverages. So that's what I'm looking for. If you are here, let me know. What do you think? What are you looking forward to in this game? Who are you looking to have a big impact on the game? All right, so let me give y'all my keys to victory. We got kickoff starting in about between 5 and 7 minutes, because usually when they say a 1 o'clock start, it kicks off a couple minutes later. Let's go keys to victory. Keys to victory for the Cleveland Browns will be limit turnovers, get off the field on third down, and don't let Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love get into a comfortable rhythm. So as I'm going into these games, sometimes I really do a heavy deep dive and I look into a lot of stuff what people are doing. But for Green Bay, I was looking at the All-22. I watched some of their offensive plays. I was like, man, super creative. It's a lot of movement when they're just running the ball. So it's funny because they end up in some of the exact plays or style plays as the Cleveland Browns, but they dress it up totally different. So you don't really know what's coming at you, which I think is a good thing that Matt LaFleur does with designing his offense. Something Kevin Stefanski needs to work on. Then also I looked at some of the defensive snaps and I was like, their defensive line is getting after it with 4. So the benefit to that is very similar to the Browns. When you get after the quarterback with 4, you got 7 guys to drop back. So you can have them in zone. You can have the 5 guys in coverage, 2 guys in like middle of the field zone. So until the Browns can consistently show that they can beat one-on-one coverages and Joe Flacco can identify the zone. So on Wednesday, I was saying Joe Flacco looked confused. And the reason why I got to that was because they had him so off balance. He didn't know if it was zone or man on basically any play, and he was canning a lot of plays. Hello, Ms. Brown. How you doing today? Shout out to you for being here. Welcome in. Another day, we're going to check out these Cleveland Browns. We're going to see what they do. We're going to see if we get some positives. We're going to see what we actually get. So I want to see some adjustments. I want to see more creativity. I want to see them get back to using motion, but not sending the motion early. So one thing I noticed was Green Bay will send their motion late, so less than 10 minutes on the clock. So less than 10 minutes on the clock, Green Bay will use their motion to really get the defense to move. So I thought that was just a key thing that they do differently scheme-wise. So just some things I'm looking for. I want to see if we attack Micah Parsons, if we run his way a lot. He's quick enough to chase down runs from the backside. So I want to see us attack Micah Parsons. I want to see us run at him. So just a couple of things I want to see. Another thing, everybody is really starting to really sound very similar to me in my view and the reasons why Kevin Stefanski doesn't want to move to Dylan Gabriel. And the media is turning. So I've been questioning Andrew Berry since the offseason. The media is pointing the finger at Andrew Berry first. And after they pointed at Andrew Berry, the next person they're going to point it at. The next person they're going to point it at is going to be Kevin Stefanski. So they're going to get to where I was months ago, but hey, it takes time. But just looking forward to see how this week goes. Given my game picks. So when I first started streaming Originally, a lot of people don't know this. When I first started streaming, I would stream me playing video games and just having conversations. I realized that space just wasn't really for me, and I got into streaming. I was just going down my hobby list. So I went from video games, and I was like, okay, let's move that. Yeah, Beast, you know it. Shout out to Beast. What's good, man? So then I got into the Browns. I always been a Browns fan, but I got into streaming on the Browns, and I would just do everything from a fan perspective. So I would just look at it. I would get up here every week, and I would pick the Browns to win or pick them to cover. And now what I've realized is that's just not realistic. I just got to call it like I see it. And now I'm actually putting in the time to watch the film, watch the tape, read up, check things out, and I'm realizing that it is not all sunshine and rainbows. So I'm not picking the Browns to win today. I'm not even picking the Browns to cover. I believe the Browns are getting 7.5. I'm not even picking the Browns to cover that because I just don't have that faith in the Browns offense. I want to see if Stefanski can make adjustments and adapt, but I don't foresee him being able to do that versus this type of team. So that's my view. That's my picks. Let's get to it. Let's make sure they're not playing any music.
Captain smashing the guitar today to get everybody fired up as they honor the 85 Browns 40 years after the first of 3 straight AFC Central Championship teams. Frank Minifield up there as well. Down on the field, time to welcome in the third member of our crew, Allison Williams.
Well, Kevin, both of these teams have absolute game records at defensive end, so more important than ever to have your offensive line at full strength. And that was a concern for the Packers on the right side coming into this game. But good news for them, tackle Zach Tom and guard.
Ms. Brown, I'm right there with you. I want to see how it turns out. I want to see Joshua Hall. You got Joe Flacco under 105 yards in the first half. Easy. That's if you got that, that's easy money.
Antonio able to go after not practicing this week with a back injury.
Yeah, that was a game-time decision with Joel Batonio.
All right, Browns look to begin the kickoff.
Cornelius Lucas is starting at left tackle, and DeJuan Jones is moving over to the right side for the Cleveland Browns. Kickoff 2 yards deep in the end zone, and Caden Davis, just brought up to the practice squad, will return, tripped up across the 25.
All right, so just a couple of changes to let y'all know. They moved DeJuan Jones back to right tackle, which he feels more comfortable, which makes sense. Caden Davis, they pulled him up from the practice squad. They got him returning kicks. So I don't know if DeAndre Carter is going to be playing today. Also, they kicked Lucas out to the left side. So they killed the experiment of DeJuan Jones at left tackle quickly, which they should put him where he feels more comfortable.
Off the Bengals, and they let that one slip through their fingers. Not good enough last week against the Ravens.
From the 26-yard line, it's first down and 10.
Stop!
Joe Flacco says Isaiah.
Great job.
Stop.
Great job by Joe Flacco right there.
And Quinshon Judkins with a hold to run up the middle and down at the 33. He had 2 guys in motion, and Joe Flacco made sure that every.
What's going on, Tim? Shout out to you being here. Shout out to you as well, Joshua. Let's see. I'm anxious to see the stuff of our feature back. Hey, they starting out early. First play, they run with Quinshon Judkins, so they're not waiting to get him involved in the game. He got 7 yards on that carry.
Behind that offensive line that had the shakeups that you and Allison talked about.
It's second down. Flacco floats it toward the sideline. That's a catch for Cedric Tillman, and that's a Cleveland first down.
It is funny, right? Because we have that.
All right, so the Browns look to be moving the ball. We got to see DeJuan Jones right there one-on-one against Micah Parsons on that right side. So that was good to see. Something I just noticed here, it looks like Cedric Tillman might have hurt himself on there. Joshua, I think Micah definitely has a chance to blow this game up as well.
Cedric Tillman kind of slowly to the sideline. Hopefully he's okay as Judkins turns it upfield. Rolls right into Quay Walker. Stops him after the 3-yard pickup. And
Micah Parsons might have got poked in the eye or something by Wyatt Teller there. He just ran off the field. So just that's something to keep an eye on.
inside. Lucas Van Ness, a guy who's not getting the start, but a rotational element. And this back end is so
Tim,
fun
yeah,
to
that was a nice nice play to Tillman there.
This defense, that is what's going to jump out at you today watching this game, is the speed that this defensive group plays with.
2nd and 7, check down to through the tight end, trying to get to the sideline. Patient run. He'll end up about a yard short of a Cleveland first down.
All right, so we're seeing some creativity on this first 15. We got a tight end screen there. DeJuan Jones just pancaked somebody on the ground there, so that was good. But DeJuan Jones is massaging the front of his right leg. Oh, look. Oh. Okay, that's why DeJuan Jones fell on him. A DB for Green Bay went low on DeJuan Jones. He hit him going into that right leg. Looks like he might have hyperextended it. So just a couple noted injuries that we got to be looking at. We got to see DeJuan Jones and what happens with him coming back into the game. Micah Parsons looked to get poked in the eye or something. He ran off the field after the Browns run play. So just that's 2 key players for both teams that we're just going to be keeping an eye on and just identifying if they are able to get back in the game and what they're able to do. So during this commercial break, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely trying to grow the channel, and it's always a good thing with y'all being here with me every Sunday, and also Mondays and throughout the week. So shout out to y'all. I definitely appreciate it. Did anybody check out any college games yesterday? What do y'all think coming out of the weekend from the college QBs, some of the teams? Jeffrey's not here yet, but DJ Lagway is looking like he needs a lot more time in college. Joshua, I think you're going to be good. This is the thing. Not Joe Flacco. Kevin Stefanski is very good at scripting up a first 15 plays. So the first 15 plays, everybody know Kevin Stefanski is good. Once you go through that opening script, those are the plays that they basically practiced and worked on all week. So the real test is after the second drive. So how many yards Joe Flacco got? He's not doing nothing too crazy yet, is he? Let's check it out. Yeah, man, you straight. He only got 13 yards, man. I watched the Colorado too. Those Colorado games ending so late is kind of tough. Like, them games starting at 10:15, and they started 10:15. I think they started 10 next Saturday. I'm glad they got the win. Caden Salter look a lot better. Glad he was able to step up. The receivers look good. Running backs look good. Their defense looks a lot better. So I'm excited. I watched that Colorado game too. DeJuan Jones getting walked off the field, going into the blue tent. He's walking very gingerly, so that's not a good sign.
To the backfield as well. He's in motion on 3rd and 1. And the handoff, Carroll pushing that pile over the midfield stripe. That'll be a first down. So they had all that extra beef up front and moving the pile for the first down with Quinshon Judkins.
And this is what this Browns offense has to do, stay those favorable.
Micah Parsons might be getting a visor put on his helmet since he probably got poked in the eye. He's on the sideline right now. That's tough. Duke has a pretty solid quarterback. I watched some of the highlights that he's put up, so he's pretty solid.
Play action pressure coming. Flacco in trouble, and he got rid of it in time. He had Judkins in the area with Lucas.
Flacco in that pressure is tough. Yeah, I watched some of the highlights. So that quarterback at Duke, he was at Tulane. I didn't watch the full game, but the quarterback looked like he was pretty solid in that game. But it's tough, man. Everybody goes through those tough losses that, you don't want to see. You don't want to see a school getting beat, especially when it's the school you go to and the school you at the top of the list. So that's tough right there, Joshua. That's tough.
Your team an opportunity for that takeaway.
Judkins on second down, and Judkins at the 46 of the Packers before Bullard and McKinney driving backwards. It'll set up a 3rd and 6. And you'll notice that
one thing I'm liking so far that I'm saying with Quinshon Judkins, he's always moving forward. When I was watching the All-22 for Green Bay, Josh Jacobs is like that. It's so hard to get them stopped for negative yards. So that's a plus. 3rd and 7. We got Dylan Sampson in the backfield. Let's see what we do. Let's see if he can hold up in pass protect.
You've got the ability to know what Green Bay is doing defensively.
And on 3rd down, they're looking for Dylan Sampson to get something going, and he'll be well.
3rd and 7. We run the ball. I'm guessing we're going for it on 4th down. Tim, I was watching. So on Tuesdays, I'm going to do a live this Tuesday too. On Tuesdays, I break down the top 8 college quarterbacks. I was looking forward to seeing what Fernando Mendoza was going to do versus a stout Big Ten team, and they made easy work of him. Easy work. Once Fernando Mendoza got rolling, the last 2 weeks, he should be somebody. Just a little bit too long of a punt that goes into the touchdown. Fernando Mendoza should be somebody who catapults himself into the Heisman watch list, I would say. Because if I remember his stats correctly, I want to say he was 20 of 23. He only had 1 incompletion last week, and I believe he only had 3 incompletions this week. He had no interceptions. He accounted for 6 touchdowns last week, 5 touchdowns this week, and he is making the throws. One difference in him and a lot of the other top quarterbacks is Fernando Mendoza is not the athlete of these other top quarterbacks. And you see it. So it was some 3rd downs where they were trying to get him on the outside and get him to run. And man, he is 3 steps faster than Joe Flacco. So he is not that fast athlete. So usually if you're going to be good and you're not the super athlete, you got to use your mind to win the game, and that's what he's doing so far. Also, his receivers, they got 2 receivers for Indiana. One of them is number 13, and they call him Waffle House. The other one, his last name is Cooper. When you talk about contact balance and these guys breaking or getting hit and stand on their feet and just their balance, their contact balance is so good. So those were some of the keys that I noticed from that game. So Fernando Mendoza is definitely going to be on my list this week on Tuesday when I do that live stream. They definitely blew out Illinois. It makes me question, should Illinois even have been ranked that high? So we're going to see. We're going to see. It's not that many people talking about Fernando Mendoza too. I wouldn't even know about Fernando Mendoza in Indiana if it was CBS. They put out a report saying he could go number 1 overall to the Browns. And I was like, I don't even know who this dude is. So since then, I've been watching Indiana every week. I added them to the list. So also looking at some things, I haven't broke down all the tape yet. Do some more of that today and tomorrow. I know people are going to be hyped about Arch Manning. He put up the numbers. They're going to say he had all the touchdowns. Arch, I don't believe you when you play these bad teams. I want to see, not bad, but just lesser talented teams. I want to see what Arch does when they get to the SEC games. Until then, it don't matter. Very similar for Nussmeier. Garrett Nussmeier for LSU. I want to see what they do versus more talented teams. Let's go. 1st and 10 for Green Bay.
On the field. He's on there now, and on 1st down, Golden with the catch, and Golden struggles forward for 9. And you know, Jordan Love is very much aware of where Myles Garrett is when he's out there. And you see the yards per completion, it's the polar opposite of what Joe Flacco was. Joe's throwing short passes, Jordan's had the deep ball.
Yeah, now we got a Packer down, Zach Tom down, so able to start the game, but down right now. So Allison touched on this. We've got 2.
Man, oh man, a lot of guys going down early. Seems to be another offensive lineman going down. 2nd and 1 for Green Bay. Jordan Love takes deep shots. So I'm kind of nervous about Jordan Love taking the deep shots, especially because we're going to have probably a lot of dime and nickel packages, and Jim Schwartz like to go man. So we're going to be in dime and nickel, or we're going to end up in cover one. Miles Harden, Cam Mitchell, we're going to have to see what they can do against these Green Bay wide receivers. And Green Bay receivers are dangerous because none of them is really like that superstar receiver where he just has to throw it to. He can throw it to any of them, and they all just do good receiver stuff. So definitely concerned about that. Yeah, I saw that too, man. After he ran, the thing is, Beast, he didn't run him over. He didn't run the guy over or nothing. Like, the guy missed the tackle right at the touchdown, and you stand over him. Like, I'm looking at that, and I put that in the category of how these SEC teams are going to taunt Arch Manning, because you taunting teams that you should be better than. This should be like a long practice when you play Sam Houston and you Texas. It shouldn't be, let me go stand over guys and all this stuff. So just something to watch for. That's going to come back on Arch. It was a lot of garbage games yesterday. You're right, Tim. And that's because a lot of these teams are just playing teams that just aren't good. So they're playing a lot of smaller schools. And the teams that we're paying attention to are teams that we're paying attention to teams who are basically kind of powerhouses. Looking at that looking at that Miami and Florida game yesterday, man, DJ Lagway, I was like, oh, that's rough game for him, coming off another rough game. And then also Miami, that game was close for way longer than it should have been based on how Miami has been playing. So, the first game, Syracuse beating Clemson. I was watching that game. So I watch a bunch of these games because I got the ESPN app, and they show, it's like a pseudo Colorado's up there. I think Colorado, Arizona State, Indiana has a good receiving core, but Colorado's up there.
With pressure, and down he goes. The Browns get to him with Malik Collins coming right up the gut.
They sacked Jordan Love on second down. It went from 2nd and 1 probably to second. It's going to be 2nd and long, but Malik Collins has been balling this year. Oh, my goodness. I think that oh, my goodness. Man, he beat him so fast up the middle. Him and Isaiah McGuire. Wow. So that was a great play. Oh, I didn't read the end of it. In the Big 12, definitely in the Big 12, Beast, they got some of the best receivers in the Big 12. They potentially had the best receivers, I think, in college. So I don't even think it's limited to the Big 12. They got Sincere Brown, his speed, his size, Omarion Miller. They put in some receiver in the second half yesterday. Yeah, Tim, the Gators, they fought as much as they could. They can't do nothing on offense. They put in some receiver in the second half of the Colorado game. DeAndre Carter is back to receive the kick for the Browns, so he's out of concussion protocol. I'm trying to think of the receiver's number. He's the one who caught the touchdown pass in the middle when they had too high, and he did the streak and went up the middle of the field, and Kenan Sauter got the ball to him. Let me look it up. But, yeah, I think they might have the best receivers in college, not just in the Big 12. Let's see. All right, let me get the sound back on for y'all while I'm looking this up, bro.
Track to where he thought it was going to be towards the end of last year.
Yeah, it was one of those things that we talked. We had the Packers during the course of the year, and I don't want to overload the guys with a lot of stuff at the beginning. I want to add through the course of the season, let them grow in their understanding and knowledge of the defense so they can play fast. He felt like by the time the playoffs got there, they were good.
Beast, that's his name, Joseph Williams. Man, oh man, he just came out of nowhere, and they was talking about on the broadcast like, oh, he might be the 8th. Oh, my goodness. Micah Parsons just blew that play up. It's going to come back for holding. It was nothing the left tackle could do but hold there.
Right side.
Holding. Number 71. Offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Now Cornelius Lucas got flagged for it. A couple of guys may have had their hand in the cookie jar there.
Yeah, well, you're working against Micah Parsons, number one, and the biggest thing is your technique. You're a little bit slow. Look at Micah's already in front of him, and that's feet. That's just getting off that line of scrimmage. You got to have that kick back, and you've got to create space.
Beast, and he's only a sophomore. So Joseph Williams, number 8 for Colorado, sophomore, 6'2", 200 pounds. Yeah, man, they do a great job of just getting a ton of receivers.
And the swing to ball. Trying to get around the edge. Really good play by Nate Hobbs. Got out there on the corner.
They run a wide receiver screen to the outside. Cedric Tillman cannot seal off his guy, so they get stopped for nowhere. 2nd and 21, right around the 10-yard line. This drive is not going anywhere.
Coming inside and just get off that, get to that second defender. Isaiah Bond unable to break the tackle.
2nd down and 21. 4-man pressure. Flacco with some time over the middle, and he finds the rookie Isaiah Bond. Makes the catch at the 27-yard line. 4-yard shot.
It's about time they added some actual routes for Isaiah Bond. Isaiah Bond is the one who can stretch the defense, so you just can't have him running gimmick routes. You have to run real routes for him because he's the one who can get teams out of cover one, which has been giving the Browns so many problems.
3rd down and 4. Another 4-man pressure. Parsons up the middle, got free. Flacco over the middle.
Kaden Salter actually looked good. Kaden Salter is super athletic. He just has to be comfortable, like with his decision making, because early on when Coach Prime called that timeout, I believe it was on the 2nd drive, it was Kaden Salter running back, and instead of just throwing the ball away, he didn't throw it away. He just kept running with it. So just once he gets comfortable, tunes up his decision making, I think he could be solid in his offense because the receivers are there. I also like Browns punt the ball off back to Green Bay. I also like the kick returner, the freshman kick and punt returner that Colorado has, number 15. I think his last name is Vickers or something like that. Man, oh man, he was trying to run one back. So, just all around, they got speed, they got talent. My only thing listening to or watching that game was listening to the broadcast with Brock Osweiler. He was just, it gets to a point where they want to see a competitive game, so they start leaning one-sided with how they speak on the game. And he was just like, oh, man, that should have been pass interference on Colorado. Oh, that wasn't pass interference. And it was just like, come on. You know what the problem is with the defense beast? Colorado struggles with quarterbacks who can run. It's not really just teams lining up and running the ball on them. It's teams who quarterback can run, which most teams struggle with that because you can't have an extra defender there to stop it. I like the fact that they switched up some packages to get more guys at the line of scrimmage, going to a single high safety. I did like that. They end up starting number 7 at safety, which I thought he had a really good game last week. So they made some adjustments that I like, but it's the quarterback run that gets Colorado. And, I mean, most teams don't have these quarterbacks who can, I guess more teams in college have quarterbacks who can run, but you got to get them into 2nd and long, 3rd and long, so they got to throw the ball. And you see the quarterback for Wyoming, he made about 4 really, really, really good passes. But besides that, it was about him running the ball. It was all about him running the ball. So Colorado needed that win. They got the win. It was good stuff. You know, my issue is with Colorado. So I'm on East Coast time. So Colorado should just blow that team out. They should just blow Wyoming out. Juju should have got in that game and played in the 4th quarter. It should have been a blowout. It shouldn't just stop. It was just like the games always get to a point where the other team has an opportunity. That's my only downside. Like when you start beating these teams, blow these teams out, get your young guys some experience. Not let them linger and it's a 2-score game.
For the Cleveland Browns. Zach Tom questionable to return with the oblique injury. Tucker Kraft in motion, and on first down it's Jacobs, and there's Garrett to pounce on him for no gain. This Packers offense.
That's just another example of how much movement the Packers have. All they did was ran that right up the middle, but you see it was 3 guys moving around. They also have pass plays off of a similar package as that. So I just like the creativity. And also you see Josh Jacobs always moving forward.
Musgrave, you want to go 3, John Fitzpatrick. They've got 4 tight ends up today for the game.
Here's Love to Golden. Blockers in front, and Golden down at the 43-yard line. Needs 3 for the first down. And with the Browns, it starts up front. And not only Myles Garrett, but we've seen it, that interior defensive line.
Yeah, how many times did we hear Malik Collins' name mentioned this week getting ready for the game? Mason Graham really starting to hit his stride, understanding what this defense is and maximizing his skill set there. Some great linebackers. I mean, you watch that group, Devin Bush, Carson Schlesinger, Jerome Baker. I mean, they're good there. And then the back end. And again, you see the 4. It looks the same snap to snap, but what they do behind it is very impressive.
Love on 3rd and 3 to the sideline. There's Jacobs with the catch.
I don't know what was happening there. The Browns defense wasn't set. Isaiah McGuire he's pointing, he's standing up, he's pointing, and the ball gets snapped. He's telling Baker, hey, you got to get out here. You got him. I don't know how the Browns didn't line up and didn't have their defense lined up there. That made no sense.
Situation like they did and let him use his skills. A lot of weapons here for Jordan Love in this offense.
An offense in which he's got so much control over right now at the start of year 3. Josh Jacobs to the outside, weaving through tacklers, and Jacobs down inside the Browns 45 in the arms of Carson Schlesinger.
Good to see Denzel Ward out there. That's a good sight to see. But like I said, you see, man, that's just an old school toss play that they ran to the outside, but they just disguise it so well, and they lead you to believe they could be setting something else up. So 2nd and 3, this is where you want to be. 7 yards on first down. So just Myles Garrett getting a breather on the second drive here.
As well with those tackles for loss, that it's just an opportunity to run whatever you want. We'll see if they try and dial up a shot here with Myles on the sideline.
And it look like we a man. They got to call a timeout.
Winding down, they've got to use a timeout. So Green.
Bucks have committed 8 penalties, 3 minutes still. What? How's that even possible? That's crazy.
And inspires us to make Tostitos.
Dang, that's crazy. What is happening in the game where it's so bad? That's like James Hudson on the Giants when he got 4 penalties on one drive and then he got benched and he was mad trying to fight. That's just crazy. You can't have that many penalties. Tim, is it the Bucks offense that has been committing that many penalties, or is it the Bucks defense? Because I know their offensive line is ravished with injuries.
Coach LaFleur, if you're that worried that you cannot mismanage that opportunity, you should have at least gotten 2 snaps with 95 on the side. So
yeah, the Florida Gators. It's gonna be a long year for them. It's crazy. Their defense is pretty stout, but their offense can't get nothing done.
And the Wildcat snap to Savion Williams, and Williams out of bounds close to first down yardage. So apparently that's a play that's in the 95 in category, Allison Williams. He's still out there for 3rd down.
He is, and LaFleur told us he's never game planned against one specific player in his entire career like he did this week with Myles Garrett, and that includes in 2020 when they faced the Browns. And he said the reason why is a couple of things. They play a really attacking style in that front. They come off the ball so quick, led by Jim Schwartz, who's just such a good defensive coordinator and does a lot to keep you off balance.
one.
But then he pointed to the guys around him. You've called their names today. Malik Collins, Mason Graham, the rookies, that these guys play so hard.
Up the middle, Jacobs right through the interior of that Browns defensive line, and he gets the first down.
So it was mostly on the offense. Man, that's crazy. That's a lot, though. Like, they running hurry up. The Browns have got running people off the field. Just crazy. What happened? Let's see what that's
Football timeout was used by Cleveland.
Okay.
He wanted to try to pace because they didn't substitute. The Browns tried to substitute, so he was hoping to pace, and instead Cleveland took timeout.
They had to, or they're going to get 12 men on the field.
That is a scheme penalty right there. So how are you substituting? Oh, had to settle for 3 because of holding. Yeah, they've been getting it done, even though they've been having guys injured. I know at least 2 of their offensive linemen are out for the year. That's a scheme penalty right there to the Browns, or the scheme penalty that the Browns were trying to avoid. But if the other team is not substituting, why are you substituting on defense when they run the hurry up? That's just bad on the team.
Substitutions.
Oh, I bet Mike Pereira is stewing in the Fox studios in LA. Simulated substitutions. Malik Heath in motion on first down and 10. Here's Jacobs trying to pick his way through traffic, runs into the arms of Aiden Huntington and down to the 34-yard. Was I wrong, Mike Pereira? Weren't you stewing a little bit about that, chicanery going on?
Listen, I mean, I don't want to stew about anything here.
Yeah, man, I want to see Shedeur too. I'm ready to see the rookies. I'm ready to get Dylan Gabriel out there so we can go through his 4 games and then we can get to Shedeur. Man, that's crazy. Tim, I'm trying to look up their plays now. I want to see how this drive was. But, yeah, I'm ready to see Shedeur too, man. But I'm excited that Shedeur is getting to run the scout team. He was talking about that the other day.
From the gun, facing a 4-man rush to the sideline. Long throw. Matthew Golden, the little bobble, able to secure it before he got out of bounds to 31 and picked up 3.
Yeah, nice job maintaining your concentration. You're not going to get this, right? It's going to come off your hands there, and you're right on the sideline and able to refocus and get that secured and get 2 feet down.
So a
third and 3
at the 31.
One of the big things that Jim Schwartz talked to us about, not getting the takeaways that they want. So what he wants is getting off the field. A big opportunity right here on this 3rd down to force a field goal attempt by the Packers.
Defense showing blitz. Love off the play fake on the slant. Finds Romeo Doubs, and that'll be a first down at the 21.
Green Bay gets the first down. They are definitely attacking Greg Newsome here with these short routes, just making sure he can handle being that outside guy. They are attacking him. Tim, I'm looking at this drive. This drive is crazy. So, man, just offensive holding, defensive pass interference, offensive holding. Just crazy.
Golden in motion. Jacobs the carry. Little cutback, and is caught from behind as he gets to the 20-yard line. Joe Tryon Shoyinka.
It's about 2nd and 8 there. Yeah, hopefully y'all saw that. I want to. It sounded like it was Mary Kay. I saw a clip up of Shedeur speaking on just him getting to go against that first team defense, which I thought that was the thing that was going to prepare Shedeur the best. He gets to go against the Browns' #1 defense, being a scout team quarterback. He gets to speed up his clock. He knows he can't drift, going against Myles Garrett. So I think it's a plus for Shedeur.
Balance of the Packer offense.
Bo Melton, the converted wide receiver, now corner, back at wide receiver right now. And he goes in motion as the handoff is to Jacobs and down to the 16-yard line.
All right, Green Bay putting a long drive here together, 3rd and 4. They at the Browns 16-yard line. So, yeah, it's just – let me get the – I never change it. There we go. Long drive here for Green Bay. And Green Bay is 50-50 passing a run. The highest in the NFL. That's crazy.
12th play of the drive, and we've got a flag.
That should be offsides on the left tackle, I want to say, for Green Bay. So this should make it 3rd and 9, 3rd and long. This is where the Browns want to be. The Browns want to have you in 3rd and long. Oh, that was the right tackle. Right tackle jumped offside.
And that is going to take us to the end of quarter number 1. So the quarter comes to a close, and the Packers will have a third.
All right, 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. This is one of those situations where when you get these long sustained drives like this from one team, the Cleveland Browns have to respond by getting a long sustained drive on their own. They need to give their defense a break. Their defense has been on the field, I think, for 5 minutes of that quarter, so even longer. Green Bay's had the ball for 8 minutes time of possession in the first quarter. So you gotta pay your defense back with staying on the field. And the Browns can't have these penalties. They got to clean up the penalties on this next drive. Man, oh man, what is going on in Indiana? Indiana has beaten Tennessee 10-3, Jacksonville winning 7-0, Carolina winning 7-0, Pittsburgh 7-0. The LA Rams up 10-7 against Philly. Minnesota is on top of Cincinnati very quickly. They're up 14-0 and they have the ball. Yeah, I think Shador, his worst habit that he brought from college was he was so used to dropping back further because his tackles were used to getting beat, and he used to basically reset the pocket from there. So once they clean that up with his timing and him understanding the deeper you drop back in the NFL with these pass rushers, you're making it easier for them. So that drop has to stop. You can't go too deep, and then you got to be willing to step up and create space by stepping up, not by just, trying to bail out the back of the pocket. So, but that's just not a Shador thing. A lot of guys in college do that. Oh, the college game we didn't get to talk about. We didn't get to talk about that Clemson and Syracuse. Syracuse going in there and just putting so much pressure on Clemson. Cade Klubnik, projected #1 overall pick, is not looking like that so far. And a lot of it is because he cannot deal with the pressure. I agree, Ms. Brown. All right, game is back on. Great play by Denzel Ward, knocking that down.
As he sprung in front of Dontavian Wicks to bat it away.
Yeah, and this is really hard because you've got.
That's a great play by Denzel Ward. Looked like we were running cover 1, so it was man across the board, and Denzel dives and swats the ball down, holding Green Bay to a field goal attempt, 39-yard attempt. Yeah, Syracuse, their head coach, I like their head coach, man. He just talks, he's himself. He's not trying to change who he is. And then also he instills that confidence into his guys. So I was watching the game. The ESPN app has this thing. It's called Skycast. So with the Skycast, it almost shows you like the all-22 view. So I'm seeing what the quarterback is seeing. But I did something. I walked away from my phone for a second, and I was like, how did Syracuse score and get the ball back? Syracuse kicked the onside kick after they scored the first touchdown, and then they drove up the field and got 3. So it was 10-0 before Clemson touched the ball. And I was like, that's how you get on top of a team that doesn't handle pressure well. So that was a really good game. Syracuse really balled out. So that was just a really good game. I enjoyed that game. Cade Klubnik, man, oh man, he probably should have came out last year because his draft stock is just dropping.
you were out there and being able to execute efficiently. So there's some positives to be taken there. Obviously, you want the 7. But that's nice. And we've mentioned how this defense has played the first 2 weeks. So anything you can chalk up to a positive and build some momentum is a good thing for that Packer offense.
And the longest Green Bay scoring drive by plays and by time spent this season. So a 3-0 advantage. It'll be Cleveland football. Carter, about 4 yards deep, will take the knee for the touchback.
Yeah, you can't bring that up the
Joe Flacco and company
touchdown.
back to work. Starting quarterback since 19.
Man, oh man, if I'm used to the Browns being on CBS, I guess I like the CBS broadcast a little bit better. The Fox broadcast, they bring in like these stories and stuff, and now they're talking about, you know, most quarterbacks, fewest quarterbacks used and stuff like that, but they don't keep up with guys going out for injuries. I want to hear more about that than you telling me how many quarterbacks the Browns had. They had 1 million. We know.
Bernie Kosar here today is part of the 1985 team. Great to have him with us.
On first down, Judkins out to the 39-yard line. Carissa Thompson has news of football for us in the game.
I do, Kevin. The Rams were down 7-3 when Matthew Stafford connects with Devontae Adams deep for this 44-yard score. That is Stafford's 381st touchdown, for those of you keeping track at home, tying him for 9th most all time.
Man, it's something else how Sean McVay is always able to keep the Rams relevant and keep them in it. Nice run by Quinshawn on first down, 2nd and 6.
Change the board.
I'm at it.
2nd and 6.
Hand
off, Judkins again. You see the commitment early. This team wants to establish the run game. Kevin Stefanski told us that in week 1. He told us again here.
So one thing I'm noticing Joe Flacco is taking more command of the offense. He told Isaiah Bond to stop running earlier so he can get set, so he can be set for 2 seconds before they snap the ball. On there, he just told Harold Fannin, get on the ball because there wasn't enough men on the line of scrimmage. So far, Joe Flacco's doing his part with keeping guys in line.
Stefanski wants.
Now 3rd and 2. Off the play action. Flacco to the sideline. Catch is made, and that's a first down. Cedric Tillman with the grab and Keyshawn Nixon with the tackle. But again, they got up to the line quickly, took their time, found the open man.
Yeah, and if you're going to be a running back, you got to be able to do some pass protection. So a nice job here. Want to stay up there. Use your lineman next to you to be able to get in there and just kind of square him up. That allows Joe Flacco to get the ball out. Micah Parsons drawing a little bit of attention over there.
That's a good play right there. They attacked the cover 1, ran away from the defenders. So that's a good adjustment.
He is not at the moment. Judkins is. He gets the carry, and Judkins met and dropped at midfield by Isaiah McDuffie.
That's the first run that Judkins had where he was stopped in the backfield. He didn't get positive yards, but they sold out for the run on that play. We've run the ball so many times today. That would have been a good opportunity on first down for a play action because they just sold out to stop the run there.
One's out.
A flea flicker. And Flacco sets it up short for Fannin. Fannin on the edge, runs into McDuffie, and down at the 45. That was a quick flea flick. Quinshawn Judkins threw it back.
A flea flicker tight end screen. Okay. Oh my goodness. Joe Flacco. Oh my goodness.
Quick on that decision to check it down, and I think that's where Joe Flacco has to grow a little bit as he develops trust with this offensive line against this Packer front.
Fannin will motion out. 3rd down and 7. Parsons back in there, pressure coming. Flacco in trouble, and he throws it away. Now he leaked out to the edge, and Rashawn Gary.
So Joe Flacco just missed a big opportunity on that flea flicker. It looks like they had single high safety. It looks to be Isaiah Bond cutting across the field. He has to take that chance. Joe Flacco just went to the quick check down, and here it looks like he doesn't get outside the pocket or actually no.
Intentional grounding.
Yeah, intentional grounding. Okay, he was pointing the wrong way. So intentional grounding on Joe Flacco, doesn't get outside the pocket there, 3rd and 7. the Browns are going to have to punt it away. So there's going to be times where Kevin Stefanski is going to dial something up for you. When he dials it up for you, you got to take that shot. You got to take that chance. Man, he just holding on to. Oh, they both. Okay. I misread that. So intentional grounding, and it was also defensive holding. They're redoing 3rd down, 3rd and 7 again.
Drive in Packer territory.
Hey, John, hey, go on.
3rd and 7 again. Parsons lining up in the middle, almost in a linebacker spot. Here comes the pressure, and Gary, who was denied a sack on the previous 3rd down, gets that one. His 5th straight game with a sack. And the punt team coming on for Cleveland.
Well, it's just all the changes that are going on right now. So Rashawn Gary's going to be right here. He's unblocked. I mean, why are you turning out? You got David Njoku out there. You know, again, it's the simple things. And when you're stressed.
Man, sometimes the Browns linemen don't know who to block, and it's always inside out. So how do you let the inside guy go free for you to turn to the outside? It's just sometimes they just do things that don't make sense. But that all goes back to Joe Flacco missing the opportunity for the big play when Kevin Stefanski dialed it up. Joe Flacco just went to the check down immediately. Then you miss out on the big play. Then you get a 3rd and 7, nascent pressure. Your line doesn't know who to block. They get right in. So it's just, man, oh man. It's just, that's what happens when you are not a good football team. You cannot miss opportunities in that way. You have to hit on every opportunity that you get when they dial it up for you, because it's not always there. So you just think, oh man, we'll get it on the next play. On the next play, your line doesn't know who to block. You get sacked, you got to punt the ball away. So this is not complimentary football. This is Joe Flacco kind of being in his head where he's not patient enough to let the play out. 10 Cup, Flacco sucks. He has had wide receivers open, is missing him. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly that is exactly what I'm saying right now. Like, they're calling plays and he is not willing to let the play out. So I was giving Joe Flacco props for him making sure guys are getting aligned and stuff like that. That's cool. You make sure guys are aligned and all that stuff. But now when they dial up the big play, what they sold everybody on the Cleveland Browns was Joe Flacco was going to be able to identify what the defense was doing, and he had the answers to the test. That's what they told us. 18 years of football he's seen. But Kevin Stefanski dialed up the perfect play in that situation, a flea flicker. That's why I was like, flea flicker to a tight end screen? But it wasn't a flea flicker to a tight end screen. It was a flea flicker with a deep play first. Should have been the first read because you're taking a shot and you had time, but he just checked it down. So it's just, they're not going to be able to sell us on Joe Flacco gives you the best opportunity to win. I don't know if Dylan Gabriel attempts that deep throw because I just don't know. I know that Shador is looking for deep throws because deep throws make the difference in a game. Sometimes you need those sudden changes, and that's how you stay ahead of the chains. That's how you keep the defense off balance. Him doing that check down, they know that they slipped up and they lost that rep on the back end, but it doesn't matter because he's not even going to take the shot. All right, so we back.
Who led the Green Bay Packers to a field goal his last time out there, starting deep in their own end at the 12-yard line. Patrick in motion, play action. Love steps to his left and checks it to Fitzpatrick, his tight end, down across the 21-yard line. But let's go back to the sack that ended the Browns' drive.
Yeah, I think the reason that Rashawn Gary is turned loose is because guess who that guy is? And you don't see him in that position very often. So I think that messed up the count. And you've got KT Leviston who's coming outside and just turns Rashawn Gary loose, and whether the slides were happening inside, but just making everybody think. And again, you know, that's one of the big reasons. Let's get to the line of scrimmage early. Let's be able to communicate and talk.
Well, there was movement early up front. The flag drops after the ball is snapped.
Great play.
Mason Graham with the
Great play by Mason Graham. Beating his man, getting in the backfield, getting the tackle. But it's okay. Offense was offsides. But that was a great play by Mason Graham right there. But good teams or bad teams, when your offensive line don't know who to block, you can't put them out there and give them another opportunity to make a mistake. When you got a good team, it's another opportunity to make a play. When you got a bad team, it's another opportunity for them to make a mistake. And that's what happens with the Browns. Oh, number 2 highlight, one-hand catch from Baker. Baker connects for TD. I'm going to check it out.
Because they will play better than me this afternoon.
2nd and 6 toss play. Emmanuel Wilson, and Wilson grabbed by Carson Swessinger. We were talking with Jim Schwartz about Swessinger, the rookie from UCLA who's had the green dot. I thought this was the best thing he said. He said, you know, if there's a struggle, he outworks that struggle. Quick snap. Love on 3rd down. Pressure comes. There's a struggle to get away from Swessinger, but cannot.
Alex Wright, Carson Swessinger. Green Bay tries to go fast. They get to Jordan Love. Jordan Love is telling his offensive line, hey, you can't let them get in the backfield this fast. Mason Graham beats his guy, so the running back has to go help. But at the same time, Carson Swessinger is coming on the wraparound, and he gets right to Jordan Love when he was about to throw. Alex Wright comes in to clean it up. They get to stop. 4th and 11. Browns are going to be getting the ball. We should get to good field position here. Somebody call a timeout.
Tossed by Matt LaFleur on the Packers sideline.
Matt LaFleur is challenging something.
Carl Cheffers is going to let us know what the challenge
Green Bay is challenging that there were too many players on the defense. We'll review the play.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, they're going to count while we're going to step aside. Carson.
Man, I hope he didn't have 12 men on the defense, and that's going to get that play to get him another opportunity. All right, so they're looking. Green Bay is challenging if the Browns had 12 men on the field. Man, oh, man. Hopefully that's not the issue. That's just an amateur mistake if that is what happened. We're going to be looking to see what happened. Seven play, 77 yards. Okay. Tim, I see it. One-handed catch to Mike Evans. Hey. When you run the show and you say this guy's not good enough, and then this guy is here balling, it's only so long they're going to be able to keep saying that, you know, Baker probably wouldn't have turned into this guy in Cleveland. Baker, 7 for 8, 105 yards, 1 TD. Joshua, let's see how you doing. All right, so you said you had Joe Flacco under 105 yards first half. Joe Flacco has 43 yards. You're looking good there. Yeah, I told you, man. You don't got much to worry about. If Joe Flacco would have hit Isaiah Bond on that big play, the flea flicker, you would probably have had some stuff to worry about, be nervous, but you don't have much to worry about when he's just not willing to take the deep shots. All right. Man, this is a long review. How long did it take the review of 12 guys on the field? Y'all hit us with a full timeout for that? Are we back? All right, they're running ads, so it might have some music that I can't play. Waiting and waiting. Oh, my goodness. Dang.
Challenge, a good one. 12 men on the field. and it removes the punt team as Devin Bush didn't quite get off, Bruce.
No, you got to hustle. I mean, Rayshawn Jenkins is coming on the field. They're going to swap out a linebacker for a safety.
So the Browns, they reversed the call. That great play they made on third down gets reversed. The Browns, 12 men on the field. Devin Bush didn't get off the field before they snapped. That's what happens when they keep running this hurry up and they're not subbing. They don't got to wait for you. Or you don't, they don't got to wait for you to sub. So that's the Browns. The Browns are shooting themselves in the foot with extending these drives. It's crazy. J-Man, hey, we can't show it. That's the easiest way to get clipped is if I actually stream the game. So it ain't worth it.
With a first down from the 23. Would have been a 3 and out. Instead, it's a first down by penalty. Good challenge by Matt LaFleur. Good eyes by that Packer coaching staff to see that and throw the challenge flag.
This is what happens. Bad teams, you give yourself more opportunities to make mistakes. You can't keep running in this position. More opportunities to make mistakes. Now we asking the defense to do it again.
Musgrave, the tight end, in motion. And the play fake, Love rolls.
Oh my goodness.
In front of him. He's going to run and he'll slide down.
Isaiah McGuire crashed down the line, no outside contain. He opened that play up for Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers throws another touchdown. They're up 14-7 on New England. Micah Parsons on the sideline on the bike.
These game breaks today. Receivers breaking records, quarterbacks breaking records, 2nd and 6 here in a 3-0 game.
3-19.
Play action, pressure coming. Garrett chasing off the fingertips of Tucker Kraft and incomplete.
Browns sent pressure there. They sped him up. They had the Jordan Love on the run, 3rd and 6. Now let's see if they can take advantage of their second opportunity to get off the field. Man, this is crazy. So they're showing the stats of the first 35 games for Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers. Their stats are almost identical.
Now a 3rd and 6. Garrett lined up at the...
Looks like we'll be a man-to-man, one single high safety.
Love will throw to the right side. Dobbs with the catch. Breaks free of Denzel Ward. He's got a first down and plenty more. All the way out to the 40.
Denzel Ward slips down on the play. Dobbs get the first down. We were man-to-man across the board. Just a great route. Great route. Denzel Ward loses his footing. They get a first down. It's always weird seeing Romeo Dobbs because he wears the protective helmet on top, and you don't really see that much.
Down to 8 as they break the huddle. Gonna have to hurry.
5 seconds.
Timeout.
4, 3, 2.
2.
Delay a game. Delay a game.
0, and there's the timeout.
All right. Green Bay gets the timeout. Hopefully it's a 30-second timeout only before they got to delay a game. So this is Green Bay putting together another drive and another long drive for the Cleveland Browns defense. The Browns defense is doing the best they can, but when you keep ending up in these situations where they got these long continued drives, it's really tough to do anything. So it's a lot. It's also a lot of, I'm seeing a lot of Green Bay Packer fans in the stands. So sometimes it's just a cheap flight. Fly to Cleveland, check out the game, and it's cheaper than you going actually in Green Bay. So let's go.
Athlete, Jordan Love, everybody was concerned about just all of the operation away from home for the first time. Kraft in motion from the pistol, Love to throw. Swings it, Jacobs up the left sideline, and Jacobs down at the 47. Miles Harden providing the stick to knock Jacobs down after the pickup of 3. Well, it's been the story of the early season for the Cleveland Browns. The defense hasn't gotten a lot of help at times. Not complimentary football, as Kevin Stefanski's talked about with this group.
Yeah, they're going to give you a chance every Sunday. You know, Cleveland's defense is going to give the Browns a chance. It's just, what is the contribution from the offense and from special teams?
Second and 7. Love with pressure, peels off to Jacobs. Jacobs upended as he gets to the 47-yard line. Grant Delpit went low and held him to no gain on the play.
All right, I tell you, Grant Delpit makes a quote leading into the Ravens game where he's not afraid of Derrick Henry. They're going to be able to shut him down. Now he's got to follow that up. And they do. They hold him to 23 yards, and a lot of it had to do with Grant Delpit. He played a great game against the Ravens last week. You watched that film, and number 9 is everywhere. He's picked up right where he left off here this afternoon, coming up with run support from that safety spot.
4 for 6 on third down today are the Packers. A 3rd and 7 here. Play clock at 2. Love with a flag down to the sideline through the hands of Romeo Doubs, and it's incomplete.
They got Myles Garrett to jump there. They're going to get a free 5 yards. Should bring that to a 3rd and 1. They got Myles Garrett to jump.
Penalty remains 3rd down.
Second time today, for a minute, you thought the Browns got the Packers off the field. Second time on this drive.
Yeah, it's hard enough to win a game in the NFL, but when you're committing mistakes like the Browns have committed today against an offense and a team that's as balanced and talented as Green Bay is, you're just making it so hard on yourself.
3rd and 2.
5 defensive backs out there for Cleveland on 3rd down and 2. Jacobs split out to the bottom of the screen.
This might be 4-down territory for Green Bay if they don't get it.
On 3rd down, it's Love on the keep. He's got the 1st down and plenty more. Jordan.
When I tell y'all the offensive design of plays that Green Bay is running is crazy. They just ran a fake run to Josh Jacobs only for it to be a quarterback run to the outside with the tight end lead blocker for Jordan Love. Just crazy, man. That's what I'm talking about when I speak on just the creativity of an offense. They got the Browns off balance. This is another long drive, and they got another 1st down.
319, that's it.
And a flag moving on the left side of the offensive line.
False start, number 18, offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
It's Malik Keith, and they'll back up 5. Just a little shift to that right foot. Green Bay will get up to the line now for the 1st and 15.
319,
Pitch to Wilson. Wilson found an opening and gets good yardage. Down to the 38-yard line. Delpit and Huntington combine after the 5-yard gain.
And they just make you think so much pre-snap with everything going on, and you've got a traditional power eye. There goes Tucker Kraft away from the play. Quick pitch out front. Just some really cool stuff in the run game. Rasheed Walker is having a nice game today at left tackle for Green Bay. In the run game, he's doing a nice job. He's getting a little bit of help out there when he's got 95 one-on-one. But in the run game, he's been very effective today. Some key blocks downfield.
Off the play fake. Pressure up the middle. Love steps away. He's blasted. Alex Wright.
Ooh, Alex Wright with the sack. A big hit as Jordan Love tries to climb in the pocket. Big hit there. Now it's 3rd down, 3rd and 15. Let's see if the Browns can get off the field on 3rd and 15. Yeah, he tried to step up. He never saw Alex Wright coming.
You're not in position. You're not in position to be able to block these guys. This defensive line is quick. They're explosive. They change direction. And you've got to be in a good base position and be ready to use perfect technique to be able to block these guys.
3rd and 15. 6 defensive backs out there for the Browns. Jacobs with the catch, and Jacobs down in the arms of Schlesinger, and flags all over the field. 3rd and 15. Who's this going to be on? Sheffers, our referee, will sort it out and let us know.
Illegal block in the back, number 87. Offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So they'll take the yardage, back them up to try to back them out of field goal range here and set up 3rd and long.
It took his eyes off the defender, and now it's one of the things that I just never understand when you see that play. If I'm coming up to block you and I see your name, then I should stop, and I shouldn't block you because that means I'm going to hit you in the back.
I wish that was a rule in our Saturday meetings at the hotel. Love. Pressure up the middle, and he's down. Garrett got there.
That worked out perfect. That's exactly what you want. They knocked him out of field goal range. You had Myles Garrett and Aiden Huntington getting to Jordan Love with the sack. The Browns defense is doing all that they can. So like they had a tight end and a tackle. Myles beat both of them. Huntington wins his matchup in the middle. Jordan Love has nowhere to go. Browns get the sack. They knock him out of field goal range. They should be going to punt. It is 4th and 30. 4th and 30.
So we'll see if he gets some more of that, because right there, that one didn't work.
Fielded and down at the 20-yard line. It's funny that he's...
All right, so the Browns going to have an opportunity. 2 minutes, 2 seconds to go. They're going to get one play off before the 2-minute warning. Let's see what they can do. Green Bay Packers have just had the ball for so long. That last drive by Green Bay, it resulted in no points, and they had the ball for 8 minutes. Beast, you're right. The Browns defense is something else. They hold up. This is the Browns defense every single week. They are holding up. But Beast, you've been here every week. What am I saying? The offense got to pay him back. 1st down from the 19.
And it's Judkins, the rookie, out near the 24-yard line, and that.
All right, Judkins gets about 3 or 4 yards on 1st down. It is the 2-minute warning. The Browns defense is doing everything they can to keep this game close. They are making mistakes, and they are cleaning up their own mistakes. Now it's time for the offense. This is a 2-minute drill. Green Bay only has 1 timeout, so they can't just stop the clock a lot. The Cleveland Browns have all – they shouldn't have all 3. I thought Kevin Stefanski called 1 timeout. That could be wrong. I thought the Browns only had 2 timeouts left. It's showing they have 3, so we will see what happens there. But this is where the offense has to pay the defense back. The defense been on the field for so long. Let me check out time of possession. The time of possession is crazy. Team stats. Yeah, so Green Bay's had the ball for 17 minutes in the first half. Beast, you're right. I thought this was going to be a blowout too. Remember, you said that the other day. I agree with you. I thought it was going to be a blowout. Hey, we still got the second half, but so far we both was wrong in that assessment because I was right there with you. I thought it was going to be a blowout. Browns had the ball for 10 minutes, 38 seconds. Green Bay had the ball 17 minutes. So, I mean, the Browns defense is keeping them in the game. So now the Browns offense has to come back. They got to do something. You know, your defense is giving you chances. It's giving you chance after chance after chance. It's a 3-point game. You still in this. Only downside is Green Bay does get the ball coming out of the half because Cleveland did get the ball first. So you got to make something of it. You got to make something of it because going into the third quarter, you don't want them to have another 7-8 minute drive. Green Bay is eating up a half of the quarter on each drive they had. So, you know, you just can't run into that too many times. Can't keep running your defense out there, expecting them to make plays like this without making any mistakes. So have to start doing something on offense. You got to do something. So we're going to see. We're going to see. I agree. I totally agree, Beast. They got to pay him back. They got to pay him back. When the defense is playing like this, They held this team's they basically 8-point underdogs. They held this team to 3 points so far in the first half, and you know everybody thought this would be a blowout. The Browns defense is playing up to par just as Green Bay defense.
On their own 23-yard line. Goes 6 of 8 for 43 yards.
That's his zone, Flacco.
Backside from Parsons. Flacco throws, finds the open target, and connects for a first down.
Find Cedric Tillman.
Picks up 10. Up to the line quickly, but a substitution will take a little extra time.
I think this is the hardest part when you get into these 2-minute situations.
They're taking their time.
You've got the time to do what you want to do, but not providing your opponent the time for him to come back down and get some points at the end of the half.
Over the middle, it's the tight end, Njoku. He's down near the.
Come on, don't substitute. Just run the next play. And also, Cedric Tillman. I don't know what type of cleats Cedric Tillman is wearing. He is falling too much. He always falling. He fell on that play.
Four-man pressure. Flacco will step up, floats it down the sideline. Lunging for it is Jamari Thrash. They can't connect, and that'll stop the clock with 58 seconds to play in the half.
And
3rd and 5.
Watching Andre Schmidt in pregame warmups, this was going to get you right about the spot where you needed to be with a first down if you could have completed that pass. He was good from 58,
going this direction,
spare in this direction. So you're right there, probably around 60. He kicked a 61-yarder in the UFL. We know he can do that, but that was indoors. But pregame, if he hits it well, he's got the leg to get it there from 60 outside here today.
Hit from 61 in the UFL with St. Louis. Flacco steps to his right, throws a wobbler to Jerry Jeudy to the 45.
Come on, timeout. Just call the timeout. Don't rush. Call the timeout. Call the timeout.
Hit by Carl Brooks, but he got rid of it for the first, and now Kevin Stefanski wants the timeout.
And he wants something else.
Yeah, they let
frustrated it didn't get recognized.
They let a lot of time run off the clock. He was trying to call it. You got to call that timeout as soon as Jerry Jeudy get hit.
By Joe Flacco on this. It's at the bottom. It's just an in route. Going to get by Nate Hobbs, the underneath defender, come into that middle of the field, and really good anticipation because you mentioned, Kevin, he's going to take that. He's going to take that hit. So on the move and getting it into an area where Jerry Jeudy can run underneath it.
That arm got hit. I said it was a wobbler when he threw it, and that's why it wobbled.
I mean, that was a good pop on that throwing arm, and for him to be able to get that ball downfield.
Yeah, that was a solid throw.
Like it impacted it at all.
That was a solid throw going through him getting hit on the arm.
And
so
now you're in that conversation of Andre Schmidt territory. Now remember, Andre
Flacco
Schmidt
is doing a good job. Flacco is doing a good job when they're dropping back in their zone. He can take his time. He can read it. So you got to keep taking advantage of when they're doing this too high shell and they're in zone. You got to keep taking advantage of it.
From the 45-yard line.
And man to man.
Pressure coming and looking for Jeudy, who fell down at the 39.
Why do the Browns receivers keep falling? Excuse me. Cedric Tillman has fell 2 or 3 times already. Jerry Jeudy just fell. What is up with this Browns field? Why are they falling so much? They are falling all over the place. Cedric Tillman was falling last week. What is going on? 2nd and 10, 47 seconds to go, just past the 50.
Interceptions out.
2nd and 10, here comes pressure again. He got rid of it to Thrash, and a good tackle by Keyshawn Nixon. Ball in play, clock continuing to run. Browns with 2 timeouts.
3rd and 6.
Yard line, it's 3rd down.
This should be 4-down territory here. I will hope.
Hustling is Tillman.
Come on, get set.
Running off. Down to 25 seconds.
You got to get this first down, though.
Checks it short. Jerome Ford, a flag down behind the play. Ford breaks the tackle, has the first down, but the flag.
What's the flag for?
Holding, number 77, offense. 10-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
That's Wyatt Teller with the hold, and that'll back the Browns up and back them out of field goal range.
Wyatt Teller, like, I didn't hold.
A field goal range, and you get a penalty. I don't like the call. That's not holding on,
What?
on Wyatt Teller right there. So if that was the call, that is not a hold on 77.
That was garbage.
Defensive tackle rushing the passer that didn't have great feet. I mean, Colby Wooden just kind of goes down because he's got too much momentum going forward.
That is garbage. Micah Parsons on the sideline. He looks to be tired, catching a breather. 3rd and 16.
UFL. Njoku gets it right to the line. He can't see the green line, but he acts like it's there. And now Packers use the timeout from their sidelines. Matt LaFleur came running in and called his final timeout with 12 seconds to play in this first half. So while we take this quick timeout, it gives us a chance to check in with Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.
Well, 6 2-0 teams are playing right now and fighting to stay perfect. Coming up on the Verizon halftime, we'll have the highlights from a busy day, including the Bengals battling the Vikings without Joe Burrow. And we'll get you all ready for America's game of the week between the Cowboys and the Bears. We'll see you at the half.
Kurt, one of those 6 2-0 teams right here, Green Bay. That Browns defense has stymied Jordan Love in the offense for the most part today. Just 65 yards passing for Love.
All right, so 4th and 8. This might be around a 60-yard field goal attempt.
Still on the field on 4th down and 8.
Yeah, I think you're going to try and draw him off sides because I think that 5 yards gives you the opportunity to bring Andre Schmidt out. If not, I really feel like you've got to take the penalty and punt it because you've played a decent first half. It's 3-0, and you don't want to do something silly here that gives them an opportunity to get the 6. We see how close the games are to start the season.
I don't understand what they're doing there. So Green Bay calls their last timeout. You run your offense out there. You don't even let the clock run where they try to draw them off sides. Then you go call a timeout early without even trying to draw them off sides. And I don't understand what they're doing. Are they trying to just burn the clock? See, I don't know if you're not going for it here to really get the first down. Jordan Love can throw this Hail Mary into the touchdown. He has an arm, so let's see what they're doing.
He will snap it and roll to the left. Flacco going deep, looking for Judy, and it's intercepted. Xavier McKinney with his first pick of the season. Down at the 9, but the Browns won't hate the fact that that was intercepted deep down on that end of the field. If it's stopped on 4th and 8, Darryl, Green Bay's got a shot to run a quick play and get 3.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of time, but if we're going to do this, let's get it down there. Isaiah Bond, that's your speed guy. Not a great throw by Joe, and boy, he pays the price for standing in there, but just doesn't get it down the field far enough there.
So basically just a arm punt. But if you're going to arm punt it, launch it for the touchdown. Give him room or give him time. Isaiah Bond has us got beat. You just loft it up there. Like, see, in the moment, I just didn't understand what they were doing because if you're trying to draw them off sides so you can get the kick, I get it. But if you're not going to draw them off sides to get the kick, then why did you call the first time out and then you're telling him, oh, just waste the time and throw it up there? Throw it up towards the touchdown. Don't throw it up there just where it don't even get to the touchdown. I mean, we got lucky that he either rolled on the sideline or something, his foot went out of bounds or something because he could have returned that. So it's just I'm just not understanding what they're really getting done. All right, let's listen to some of these highlights. What y'all think about the first half so far? Browns, Green Bay up 3-0.
Push away by Devontae Adams to get caught. Touchdown, 44 yards.
Beast, I agree with you. This has 0-3 all written all over it.
At the half, Jazz at the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, 7 touchdown passes, no interceptions coming into this game. Well, look. Firing Emeka Egbuka. There it is, 30-yard gain. Beautiful one-handed grab by the rookie. Nice job out of Ohio State.
Nice job, PG.
Thank you. Didn't think I'd get it right, did you, boys? And then Mayfield finds Evan on a quick slant, get inside that corner. Nobody there. Beat him on a slant, 10-6. Tampa Bay on top of the visiting New York Jets. Raiders at the Washington Commanders. There's Jaden Daniels, second-year quarterback. Out of LSU, injured out of this game, but Jeremy McNichols takes his 60 there. Look at that run. Howie, have you ever broken a tackle and run 60 yards? Okay, thank you, Howie. Thanks for listening. All right, that's a good score, 17-10. Washington on top of the Las Vegas Raiders. Atlanta, that's Michael Penix Jr., son of Michael Penix Sr. Play action at the goal line.
It's a good one, Terry.
Thank you, Bryce Young. 4-yard touchdown run. There you go. Here we are, Carolina. Someone, I think Kurt, you said, what is with?
Ms. Brown, I agree. This is setting up for a Green Bay win because the Browns can't do nothing on offense.
Quarterback for the Vikings out of this game. Watch it, he has an ankle injury. That's Jake Browning in for Joe Burrow, looking for Isaiah. Well, he's actually intercepted by Rodgers. Howie, have you ever taken one back 87 yards in your career, in your life?
No.
Thank you, Howie. 17-3, Minnesota on top.
Cincinnati Bengals season is over.
England, Aaron Rodgers. Tied for fourth on the all-time passing touchdown list. So let's break it up a little here. Fading it right, there he is, DK Metcalf, man-to-man coverage, perfect throw, great concentration by Metcalf. Rodgers passes Brett Favre with 509 career touchdown passes. Congratulations, I'm sure he hopes they win this game. It'll mean more than 14-7 Steelers on top of New England. Cam Ward, this year's #1 pick, out of the University of Miami, picked off by Kenny Moore. Bounce, turn to the right, way too late. Kenny Moore says thank you. Hey, Gronk, 32 yards. Can you, when you get to Saudi Arabia, you think you can go 32 yards?
Nah, just only 25.
Okay, 17-6, Colts on top of the Titans. And finally, Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson. Under ball handling, there it is. Run inside, Tootin takes it in from 1 yard out. Low-scoring game, Jacksonville 7-3 on top of the Houston Texans.
All right, Michael, listen.
Now, I want to see Cam Ward do well, but Cam Ward is too risky with his throws. That interception that they just showed the highlight for, he just threw it late, just kind of lofted up there to the running back. It gets picked off for a pick six. His first career touchdown was a play that you just can't make. He threw the ball across his body. He was rolling to the right, threw it across the ball left, and even DBs said, hey, keep throwing that pass because they know that's going to be easily picked off. So I'm just looking, and I hope y'all are keeping track with me. Do y'all remember before this season started, they talked about how all these guys were better than Shador, all these quarterbacks were in a better position, all these teams, they couldn't use Shador. We looking, and we seeing, and we are not seeing anybody jump off the page. I'm looking at the New Orleans Saints. I'm looking at the New York Jets. I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kind of looking at Cam Ward in Tennessee. I'm looking at who else got some AJ McCarthy in Minnesota, who's already injured again or hurt again. So I'm looking at all these teams, and I'm like, y'all thought y'all didn't need a quarterback like Shador, but it ain't looking that hot. I'm looking at the Washington Commanders with Jaden Daniels. He's injured. He's going to be out a couple weeks. So you're just looking at these teams. Now, what they wanted to do is they wanted to tell us, man, they'll take a guy if he can help them win. And also, they wanted to tell us these guys know what they're doing. So far, we're about to be, what was this, be a fifth of the season? Maybe closer. I guess the numbers, a sixth of the season is going to be down. We had 3 games done. You think some of these teams aren't thinking, man, why didn't we just take Shador? Look at the Raiders. The Regulars struggling on offense. Geno Smith throwing all these interceptions. So, it's one thing when everything is hypothetical and they just talking in the offseason. It's a whole different ball game once the games start going, guys getting tackled, guys getting hurt. So early on, I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it from quite a few of these teams. Back to the Browns. This is the same old story. I know this week, once we get to all 22, I'm definitely going to be looking at that flea flicker because it looked like Joe Flacco predetermined he was not taking a shot deep. He was just going to throw the check down. And if that's the case, that's where you got to start looking like we got to put the rookies in and they got to be willing to take the chance. So even the next rookie, if Dylan Gabriel comes in second, I don't want them to give Dylan Gabriel a short lease. I want them to say, hey, Dylan, we're going to evaluate you after 4 games so you can just play your game. And then I don't think he's going to really make it more than 4 games. Then we say, hey, Shedeur, this is your 4 or 5 games, whatever the number is. Actually, Shedeur is going to be the last one. So you might even say, Shedeur, this is going to be your 6 games. We're giving you 6 games, and we're going to see how you do. So you have to start we got to start our succession plan after Joe Flacco, because what we are witnessing from Joe Flacco, it is not enough for us to say we need to see this for longer. It's just not enough. Not willing, just able. Or not just willing, able. What you mean by that, Tim? I was on a little mini rant there, so help me out. But yeah, Joe Flacco, 0 points to the first half when your defense is playing well. I don't see how you can just keep saying we got to put him out there. I agree. See, I'm with you. I'm totally with you right there, Tim. I think Joe Flacco is a guy who can come in. He can win you a game, maybe 2 games. But past that, with all the pressure and teams are game planning against him, I think you can figure him out. I was watching so I've been looking at a lot of stuff to just learn about NFL defenses. I've been learning about NFL defenses. I've been learning about like route combinations and what you can use to beat what. And I came across, it was Julian Edelman. He had Matt Patricia on his podcast. This was about 8 months ago. And for whatever reason, Matt Patricia carries this big old book with all his research he's put in. And he was showing what he had on Joe Flacco. And he's like, yeah, Joe Flacco, you just put pressure on him and speed him up, and that's all it takes. And I'm like, man, the book is out on Joe Flacco. It's been out. Ken Folknam, 0-3 Bruin. To us outsiders, it looks crazy until you realize this is just normal living for Browns fans and it's your tradition. Unfortunately, I wish I could take offense to that and be upset, but you spitting facts. You spitting facts right there. This is our tradition. It's a sucky tradition, and we haven't seen things. And the funny thing is, those of us who are calling for change and who want to see change, other Browns fans are telling us to give these guys more time. People who are not Browns fans are calling out the dysfunction in real time. They're saying the offense is not creative. They're like, oh, I've been a Browns fan or following the Browns since Shedeur got there, so more of a Shedeur fan, but I see that the offense is not creative. You see that they make a bunch of mistakes. You see that they have areas that they need to upgrade all across the team. So when you're not a Browns fan, you see all this stuff clear. It's crazy. Oh, man, facts. Teams need a good backup. History has shown us folks get hurt. That's just facts. That's facts. Look at how many quarterbacks are hurt already. So far this year, Cincinnati is playing the backup. Minnesota is playing the backup. Washington Commanders are playing the backup. Am I missing anybody? Is anybody else playing the backup quarterback? I'm with you, Tim. You got to play the youngins. You got to. But you got to play the youngins, and you got to tell them, like, hey, you got 5 games, so they're not pressing. Joe Flacco is pressing, and teams figured him out. He feels way more comfortable at this stage in his career throwing the ball across the middle of the field. So he's doing a lot of throwing the ball across the middle of the field. And teams are going to cover one, and they're going to zone. Teams are going to cover one, and they're going to zone. And he can still pick apart his zone. I'm not old enough to remember it. I've heard about the perfect season. I have not. I was not alive. I was not alive when that happened. Surprisingly, yeah, my parents was like 2 or 3 when that happened. Let me see. Yeah, my parents were about 5 and 6 when that happened. So even my parents probably don't even remember that season. So I've heard about the perfect season. You're talking about the Miami Dolphins, but no, Bob the starter? Let me look this up. Got some stuff going on. Hurt early in the season. 72 Dolphins. Let's see what the AIs is giving us. Starting quarterback for the 1972 undefeated Miami Dolphins was Bob Greasy. Though he was injured early in the season, the phrase Bob the starter likely refers to Greasy, who was the team's official starting quarterback. A significant portion of the season, however, was played by veteran backup Earl Morrall, who led the team for most of the regular season. While Greasy recovered the team's journey to a perfect season, is a unique story that involves two quarterbacks. Wow. Yeah, facts. Yeah, facts. Highways won. I've never seen a worse team in all the sports than the Browns. Man, so in the offseason, I told people, oh, he was Johnny Unitas backup too. I told people that this was going to shine the light on the Browns and it was going to force change. When you were watching the Browns, let me say this and then I'm going to get to your comment, Cooley. When you are watching the Browns, you realize the only thing worth keeping is the defense, and you realize everything else can be blown up. Now, you said old Fox rode the bench many years. The score is 3-0. My bad. Let me get that up so you can see it here. Green Bay just took the second half kick. Was fresh at 40. Man. All right, so Cooley, what are they doing to prepare the future QB? They have Shador running the scout team. Dylan Gabriel is getting about 10% of the starters reps as the backup QB.
And he said, now we need our defense to go in there, get a takeaway, special teams to give us a field advantage. And for Matt LaFleur and Green Bay, he said our biggest issue, we cannot protect the quarterback. We have to block better up front. Plus, the false starts penalties really hurt them in that first half.
Now 4 penalties for Green Bay, 4 for Cleveland. And on first down, it's Josh Jacobs with the carry. Schlesinger there to meet him at the 30-yard line.
Shador was the only Johnny Unitas award winner to go 5th round. It's crazy. I remember I said this in the offseason and people thought I was crazy. I was like, people either going to get extensions for not or picking Shador or they're going to get fired over this. And somebody thought it was a crazy thing to say. And I was like, how is that a crazy thing to say? If you picked Tyler Shuck over Shador, that's going to determine the fate of your career, your next contract. How do people not see that?
To do that, so you're waiting on two components that have struggled mightily this season.
Love on the keep, and Love will slide close to the first down. He started his slide before the yards to gain for the first, so it's 3rd and 1.
I tell you what, it's basically coming out, hey, it's 57 at the end of the line. Yeah, okay, let's run a bootleg. I mean, that's the 3rd time this game where he has gone. I don't know. Maybe they've got secondary support there where that's his job. I hope so, because if not, we've got 3 minuses on the film tomorrow morning.
And it's been blatant. And Love sees him and goes right after him, and then they do the direct snap to the motion man. But I think there was movement early.
Yeah, Isaiah McGuire has been not holding contain on his end and giving up these runs because he's crashing down the line. He's done that 3 times, so he's not showing the discipline to do that. Green Bay jumped off sides. So instead of 3rd and 1, it's going to be 3rd and 6. And the score is 3-0 Green Bay over Cleveland.
Boys up front can do. They need a big one right here.
That's 3 today on Morgan. 3rd and 6. Love with pressure. Down he goes again. Malik Collins with the sack.
Malik Collins, what looks like his second sack. Also, he has some help there from Isaiah McGuire. The Browns' D-line is dominating this game, and they are not giving Jordan Love the time he needs to make plays. Now, again, we're going to keep repeating it. The Browns' offense needs to pay the defense back for this quality of game and this quality of performance that they are putting on. Cleveland Browns have 4 sacks in this game to Green Bay's 1.
Browns defense does its job. DeAndre Carter waving for the fair catch, and he'll make it at the 29-yard line.
DeAndre Carter calling for a fair catch with guys 15 yards away from him. Man, I just don't – some of this stuff I just don't understand what's happening here. I just don't get it. So it is what it is. Let me adjust this so I can make sure y'all can actually see the score at all times. So let's do this. Let's go. First half stats are D played better than Green Bay. I agree. The first half, the Browns defense definitely stepped it up. But it's this offense, man. This offense got to do something. Okay, I think that should do it. That keeps it on there. Let me scroll up. There we go. Okay. Joshua, you still in the chat? Joshua, you still there? You hit on that first half, Joe Flacco under 105 yards, which that was an easy one right there. I told you, man, that first drive, the first 15 ESPN stats show side by side, we were better except that QB. I believe it. If nothing else, Jordan Love is giving him first down with his legs, and Joe Flacco just not capable of doing that. Highways 1, final score, Pack 24, Browns 6. Man, where the Browns going to get these 6 points from? Hey, you see it. I got the Browns hat on. I want the Browns to do well, but where they going to get these 6 points from, man? Where they going to get them from? They got to do something, man. They got to get more creative on the offensive side of the ball. They just figured it out. So I've been looking into like defensive concept, offensive concepts, and basically it's only a certain amount of concepts that all these teams run, and it'll be like West Coast base, it'll be mesh base, it'll be crossing base. So that's how the base of the offense is formed. Then you add all these extra layers to it that slows the defense down. And to me, the Browns just haven't added enough layers to their offense to slow the defense down, and that's where the creativity part comes in.
Offensive line trying to figure out how to protect 10 right now. It's not going so well.
No, it's not. And just with all those changes that we talked about, Zach Tom trying to give it a go. He couldn't do it. Anthony Jones out there, right tackle, Aaron Banks.
Hey, you funny, Highways. Late touchdown. Missed 2 points. You funny.
Gary, and he throws it incomplete. And Allison, that offensive line shuffle has been ongoing today.
Yeah, it has, and the guys that we thought were going to be able to go physically just not able to stay out there. Zach Tom dealing with that groin injury. He's questionable to return. We have not seen Aaron Banks come back in. He is still deemed questionable, but they're really dealing with some major injuries up front, and it's creating a lot of problems for this offense.
And as you see on the Browns side, DeJuan Jones.
Green Bay is dominating time of possession. I was saying that in the first half, they had 17 minutes time possession to the Browns 10.
Second down and 10. Judkins trying to find room. And to the 31-yard line.
See, that first down play call and them getting nothing and then going to – oh, Micah got smacked. Is Micah Parsons hurt? I don't know. He pointing somebody out. He got smacked. He is out there. But 3rd and 8, the Browns, we cannot win at having 3rd and long.
Always used to say wham and the whammer.
Jerry Jeudy, 1-on-1, the bottom of the screen. You got to go to him.
3rd down. Flacco.
He didn't even look his way.
Protection, it breaks down, and he's sacked. Rashawn Gary got there for the 2nd time today. 4.5 on the year for the former Michigan Wolverine.
And that's what's going to happen with this group. Rashawn Gary's at the bottom of your screen right there, 52 coming in from that left side. There's another little chip right there. You got to get out quicker. You got to get out quicker and help out your guys. So KT Leviston is in a good position, but what are you waiting for? Why are you locked in? I'll trust Wyatt Teller a little bit more than I'm going to trust.
So this is what teams are doing to the Browns. They're going to cover one on key plays. And when they go to cover one like that, you get one-on-one on the outside on Jerry Jeudy. You got to spam Jerry Jeudy the ball when he's covered one-on-one. Shout out to you, Coley. I appreciate you. You got to spam Jerry Jeudy the ball. When he's one-on-one, he's the number one receiver. You got to spam him the ball. You got to spam him the ball when it's one-on-one on the outside like that. So Flacco never even looked to Jerry Jeudy's side. And that's why in the media this week, Jerry Jeudy saying, watch the tape. And they're saying, oh, I watched the tape, but you wasn't open. But when you're a team's number one receiver, they got to just throw you the ball. Open is one-on-one coverage. That's what open is for a number one receiver. Find me any other number one receiver. We can go on every single team where if they're one-on-one, that's not the only read you're doing. So just looking at AFC North, if Zay Flowers is one-on-one or DeAndre Hopkins one-on-one, they going for him. If DK Metcalf is one-on-one, we saw Aaron Rodgers throw the touchdown pass to him. If Jamar Chase or T. Higgins is one-on-one, you see they're going to that matchup. The Browns are not going to the matchup when they're one-on-one. Their one receiver, their number one guy is one-on-one. They are not willing to just throw a 50-50 ball and give him a shot. And defenses are using that against you. They went to cover one. They didn't even disguise their cover one on that play. They just went to cover one. That is it. Tim, other people are saying this, and they're saying it doesn't seem like they are creative on offense. And if you notice, Miss Brown, you ain't missed much. It's still 3-0, and the Browns just couldn't do nothing on offense to putting the ball back to Green Bay. So, unfortunately, you didn't miss much. We don't have much to report to you. Tim, that's the thing when it comes down to creativity and not having creativity. If you look at coaches who allowed their quarterback and receivers to just play off script, this is an off-script thing. When you see single high safety, you got Jerry Jeudy to your dominant side, which is your right side, and you see nobody can get there to double team him, y'all just have to say, hey, we're throwing him the ball on this opportunity. And that is a Kevin Stefanski thing. Kevin Stefanski wants you to play within the design of his offense, not based on what's happening in real time. So I keep going back to this. Game is back on. Let me get the volume for y'all. My bad. I'm riffing.
And he's dropped for a loss back to the 26-yard line, trying to find any way to get this.
He is definitely uncomfortable with going off script because then it's outside of his offense. So it's going to be times where you got to say, you know what? That's my number one. We're just going to feed you the ball. Coach Prime, a couple weeks ago, he said, my quarterback just needs to make a play. You can run what I call, but every once in a while, I need you just to make a play. And that's what the Browns need.
Pressure rate. The swing to the edge. Dontavian Wicks, and Wicks twisted down about a yard short. Green Bay first down.
Green Bay with looks like a 12-yard play, get it down to 3rd and 1. This is what's going to happen, Tim. If that is Shador and that is Jerry Jeudy, Shador is saying, you can beat him, just go make the play. I'm going to throw it up to you. That's not what – all right, looks like we had a legal man downfield, ineligible downfield on 3rd down against Green Bay. So that play is coming back. But Shador would say, hey, I'm just going to throw it up to you. We're going to make this play. Look at Ryan man, I always forget his last name. I think his name was Ryan Schaub for Colorado. When he was playing, he told Sincere, hey, when they're in this coverage, I'm throwing it up to you. Stefanski doesn't like that.
Jacobs across the 30, breaking free. Jacobs with a first down and more into Cleveland territory.
2nd and 18. They get Josh Jacobs into space. He has a big play. They use the defense. They use the Browns' defense aggression against them by going to the outside, right there. Big play.
Myles Garrett ball out quick, but watch 63. He's the key block right here. There's the one that gets Josh Jacobs those extra 8 to 10 yards.
First down and 10. Up the middle with Emmanuel Wilson to the 44.
T. Wells, you're right. Flacco has he struggles when the rush is coming. He struggles when the pressure's coming, and it speeds up his clock. So that's the issue he's running into. He's put that on tape. So teams know that if I show 6 in the box, Flacco's going to panic. And I called it in game 1 versus Cincinnati. On that last drive, we were at the 13. He panicked and just ran backwards instead of stepping up. It's on tape. Teams know it.
I tell you, Carson Schlesinger has been in the mix all day, playing a unique style here today.
Love connecting with Wicks and a yard short of the first down. What are you seeing from the rookie Schlesinger?
Man, Green Bay does a great job of staying ahead of the chains. Miss TN, I just found your channel. Subscribe. I don't know what took me so long because you are my kind of people with everything. Shout out to you, Miss TN. I appreciate you subscribing. My bot is aggressive, but that's okay. So I still got your message. I just read it straight through without messing up. I just follow your channel and subscribed. I appreciate it. I don't know what took me so long because you're my kind of people with everything you say. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. T. Wells, I agree. This is exactly why one of the rookies need to get their shot. This is exactly why. The issue is what I think they are doing by not letting one of the rookies play. They are doing it because they just want to force them. You got to play. You got to see. You got to do it our way, which you are taking away what makes guys special. That's what makes guys special. If you look across the NFL, look across college, games are won and lost on guys who are just better making a play. It's not that the offensive coordinator is always dialing up the perfect play for the right time. That's some of it, but some of it is they're recognizing something in real time and they're making an on-the-fly adjustment, and that's what makes them better, and that's what makes them great. So the Browns eliminate that, which is crazy. 3rd and 1, plus side of the field, so even if they don't get it, this is like 4-down territory.
They've used to save a delay of game penalty. Pitch to Jacobs. Jacobs getting to the edge, tackled by Ward, but he's right at the line to gain. Should be a first down at the 38.
Yeah, we talk about Denzel Ward as being a great cover guy. Watch this in run support. You know, he's going to come up, he's going to battle through Dontavian Wicks and come up and make that play. That's excellent.
Just enough with the fall forward for the first down.
It's another one of those long drives.
First and 10. Wilson tries the right side. Aiden Huntington in there to the stop.
Ms. Brown, I got the what is it called? I got the league pass through YouTube. That's how I'm able to see it. I just can't show it because YouTube, you know what I'm saying, I'll get a copyright strike. But I got the league pass through YouTube. They did some type of deal where you pay like $24 a month or something like that. So that's how I got it. That's how I get to see it. But yeah, I just can't show it. I can't show it because I'll get a copyright.
That play was Rasheed Walker, the left tackle. He's going to be looked at on the sidelines. Darian Kennard coming in, the Ohio native. And another retool of this Green Bay offensive line.
Yeah, and fortunately, 95 is not on the field right now. And I'm sure if he looks up, he's like, all right, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better. Let me get back out on the field.
2nd and 7, they bring pressure up the middle. Love throws. It is caught by Kraft, immediately tackled by Grant Delpit. Positive yardage to the 32.
No problem. No problem, Ms. Brown.
I think there's an equipment malfunction. That might have been what kept Rasheed Walker off the field.
Let me ask you a question, Tim. That's what Cedric Tillman is supposed to be, but I don't think we trust him to be that. They act like Cedric Tillman is a speed receiver, and he's not that. Green Bay runs for the first down. They get the first down there. They extend this drive. This is another one of those long drives by Green Bay. This is 4 minutes, 45 seconds and counting. So they're really putting the Browns through it. The Browns don't have that guy that they're just willing to throw it up to for whatever reason.
Here's Wilson again. Much more stingy up the middle this time. Only 2 yards. Isaiah McGuire on the tackle. Equipment man is, I mean, as frantic as you can work.
It's got to be like a NASCAR pit crew, man. You got to have the little zip things. He's got to be back out on the field by now. Are we going old school by hand?
Just zip tie it. Don't you have super glue? Come on.
These new fasteners, I can't stand them.
Duct tape fixes everything. 2nd and 8 at the 20. It's Jacobs. And not much there. He gets hogtied by Malik Collins and yanked down after just a 1-yard gain.
3rd down, 3rd and 7. Malik Collins is having a day. I believe Malik Collins has 2 sacks. That's a tackle for a loss, so he is having a day. 3rd and 7. They are in the red zone, just right inside the red zone. So they're at Cleveland 19. Let's see what the Browns do on 3rd down here.
He's on the inside.
Walker no longer a screw loose. He's back out there. 3rd down and 7. Love over the middle. Fits it in. Wicks with the catch. It's 1st and goal, Green Bay. Ronnie Hickman saves the touchdown with the tackle after the 16-yard pickup.
Just got to make a play. Somebody's got to step up and make a play. Eyes a little bit off right there for Miles Harden. Don't know why his eyes and his posture were to the outside. I would have thought he would have had inside leverage there.
And now an injured Brown, Greg Newsome.
Greg Newsome down, holding his calves. I don't think the Browns will get OBJ, Kyler, just because we had OBJ. This is the same regime that had OBJ before they released him, and he went and won the Super Bowl with the LA Rams. So I don't think they would get him again. I know he said that he wasn't retired, but I don't think they would get him again. Also, Kevin Stefanski has a history of wide receivers not being able to get the amount of targets that they want. This goes all the way back to Minnesota. He was there with Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs won and out when they had Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen, when Adam Thielen was young. So this goes to the Browns when we had Jarvis Landry. We also had OBJ at the same time. So, you know, we run into an issue. When receivers have great years for the Browns under Stefanski and Andrew Berry, it's usually because the quarterback is deciding to just throw to them by any means. So when Jerry Jeudy had a great year last year, Jameis was throwing to Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy was he had games of 12 targets, 15 targets, 18 targets, just crazy targets. And that was just a quarterback doing that. Amari Cooper having those crazy games in 2023. That was my bot got you, but I'm going to read your message, T. Wells. Amari Cooper having those crazy games in 2023. That was Flacco just saying, hey, I'm going to throw it to you. All right, T. Wells, let's get to your comment. Point blank, the Browns are so good on defense that if they let one of the rookies play, I think they will have a chance to win. They are killing the defense with 3 and out. Well said. Well said. They are definitely killing the morale of the defense. They are killing the morale of the team because the team is feeling like, hey, how much better can we play for so long? They held Green Bay to 3 points. We are almost through the 3rd quarter. So for 2.5 quarters, they held this team to 3 points. So that's where you're saying, look, if our defense gives us 1 touchdown, if they give us 1 touchdown, we are in this game. So they got to be getting frustrated. They're going to want to spark. It's been said that the Browns want like a soft landing spot for a rookie, but this is to the detriment of your team with trying to find this soft landing spot. Looks like it was some cramps for Newsome. He's getting hijacked on the sideline. First and goal.
And on first and goal, the give is to Jacobs, and he won't go anywhere. And it's one of the things he
Jacobs gets nowhere. He gets bottled up by Myles Garrett, Grant Delpit.
They did not stop him on fourth and goal.
Yeah, he has a very, very high standard.
They're running fast. They're back up at the line. They're going to Josh Jacobs again.
And he's hit hard and dropped at the 3.
The Browns shutting it down.
Last week in Baltimore,
you got Grant Delpit. You got Carson Schlesinger, Isaiah Wright.
So that was the point that he was hammering home. So Green Bay gets
and Devin Bush on the stop. It's third and goal.
Was ramping his guys up. They do not get a touchdown here.
Play action. The Browns look like they got to defend it well. Stay on the tight end.
He finds his open man, and it's a touchdown. John Fitzpatrick's first NFL touchdown.
My bad, y'all. I be getting excited. I'm screaming in your ear. I'm seeing this thing breaking down in real time.
And because you can't get any pressure.
They defended the receivers well, so the receivers are cutting across, and the tight end recognized it, and he just sat down, and it was kind of an over pursuit by Carson Schlesinger, and he was just open. Carson Schlesinger got caught in no man's land. Everything was rolling to the right. He throws it to the left. The tight end sits down. It's a touchdown. So now 10-0. 10-0. This is when it's more pressure on this Cleveland Browns offense. The Browns defense, if you give up 10 points to a team like Green Bay through 2.5 quarters, you still have an opportunity to win that game. You still have an opportunity, but your offense has to pay you back for playing that style of defense for this long. We can't just turn and say, oh, the defense shouldn't give up that touchdown. The defense is doing everything that they can. So, Kevin Stefanski, you have to not run this gimmicky stuff. You got to do a regular drive. So on first down, whatever gives you the best opportunity to get 4 yards, you got to go 4 yards at a time until you can loosen up the defense to go for a deep shot. You cannot try to go for a deep shot on first down. Joe Flacco behind the sticks after first down, you might as well chalk it up. Nothing's happening. Just got to adjust the way you call the offense. You have to. And then also, I'm watching all these college games. Man, they get so creative with running the ball. I'm seeing so many running plays where wide receivers are coming in motion and they're the lead blocker. Kevin Stefanski has to do something to get more creative with that. And I agree, Tim, I agree with you. 10 down at this point, the defense is putting it all on the line. They're getting to Jordan Love. They're making him uncomfortable. They're making him roll the pocket. They're making him second guess. When you get in this type of play from your defense and they only gave up 10 points, you got to do something on offense or you have to make a change. This why if the Browns lose this game, Kevin Stefanski can't just sit there after the game and say, well, you know, there's just some plays we want back. We just got to get better. The Browns are playing good, surprisingly. The Browns are playing good defense. Yeah, they're playing good defense. Ms. Duke, the Browns are playing good defense. It's just offensively, the Browns are giving you nothing. They gotta show up on offense. So they gotta show up on offense. They gotta do something on offense. Offense is the question mark. If they score no points this game, Beast, it's no way they can come back and say, Joe Flacco gives us the best chance to win. Remember, I called that out last week. Last week, I said, it's no way they can keep saying Joe Flacco gives us the best chance to win. If they get 0 points, you cannot say he gives us the best chance to win. So let's see. They're about to kick the ball off.
20. And the kickoff to the goal line, DeAndre Carter on the return. You need a spark from somewhere.
Miss Duke, I was there with you. I understood what you meant. I knew it had to be defense you were talking about. You good.
8 years of her memory, a patient comes back to haunt her. Doc premieres Tuesday at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
So
Cleveland offense.
This first down is very, very important. They got to get some yards. I just want 4 yards on first down. That's not too much to ask for. Can you give me 4 yards on first down?
unfortunately for Browns fans, it's going to continue to be a struggle for a while with the matchups they have coming.
Yeah, it's looking like why you still sending them out there.
Pumps and finds Judkins, and Quinshawn Judkins lit up by Edge.
See, this stuff is predetermined. Joe Flacco is predetermining he's going to the check down. He is predetermining. So just on that play, the first thing he did was he went right to the check down. Hey, Tim, I'm right there with you. I need to see the computer before it doesn't matter. We still a 0. I'm there with you. We got to, at some point, you just got to say, Kevin Stefanski, you believe in Dylan Gabriel, put him out there.
For
Second and 9.
To really kind of get into stride, if that's the offense that we want to be.
There's the Joku, first down for the Browns to the 40-yard line.
Can you make this work? I mean, what we're
So Green Bay, they go into cover 1. They're not even disguising it. They're just showing the safety high by himself, and you see that they're a man. Those are the routes you need. You need those mesh-style routes where guys are running away from defenders and you can get yards. So that was a good play right there. Joe Flacco gets the ball to David Njoku running away. They get a first down. Let's see what they do with it.
Yardage play, so it makes that drive easier. It becomes almost impossible to do this drive after drive after drive all game long.
Nobody open. Flacco into the turf with Quinshawn Judkins. And, of course, this is all with the backdrop of
Gabriel just throws check downs, but that might be what we need. Hey, might be. No deep ball, 3 games of mobility, number 1 defense in NFL, 0-3, haven't won it over a year. Carl, that's a fact. This is what happens. Like, you can't keep just wasting these defensive performances, and people just, they're not going to be excited to see this. I say fire all the coaches in Barry, bring in a fresh new coaching staff, a front office that respects talents. They can't blame the players. I agree with you, Ms. Duke.
Judkins. Judkins, a good run out to the 46, picks up 6 yards.
And the hard part is we know how good of an arm Joe Flacco has. He's a deep ball guy. He's that stretch play action. You know, I don't know with the mobility, you know how far you're going to get him outside, but there's some play action and things that you can do to help stretch the football field, and we just haven't been able to see that happen. Isaiah Bond, another one, just like Quinshawn Judkins, is a late addition to the team during training camp because of legal issues that he had prior to the draft. So it's been challenging on a number of different levels for this offense.
3rd and 4. Flacco down the sideline, too tall. He had Isaiah Bond open at the 35-yard line, and that's the other frustrating thing. When you get an opportunity, and there's so few far in between, you miss it and the Bluebirds come out.
Yeah, you cannot miss these. Your margin for error is so small that every opportunity there is to make a play, you've got to make it. And again, this is time on task, and I don't care. Joe Flacco.
Man, I don't want to hear that time on task stuff. Joe Flacco been in the league 18 years. His accuracy was off in game 1. His accuracy was off in game 2. His accuracy is off here with that play. When you have these opportunities where Kevin Stefanski is calling up the play and you can't execute it, why are we sending you out there? Beach, you said the Bengals getting whooped on. Let me go through the scores right quick. Let's see. All right, let's get the scores. All right, let's all right, we gonna go through the scores. So we got Minnesota 34-3 over Cincinnati. We got the LA Rams 26-14 over Philly. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers 14-7 over New England. We got the Carolina Panthers 17-0 over Atlanta. Wow. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars 10-3 over Houston. Man, Indiana. We got the Colts 27-6 over Tennessee. We got the Washington Commanders 26-10 over the Las Vegas Raiders. And we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-6 over the New York Jets. Man, every game is one-sided. The only game that's close. What penalty is this?
Timeout. It's one of the Gunners, Donovan McMillan, the rookie from Pitt. So 15 yards added to the field position of Green Bay.
Man, that's crazy. So they get a touchback, and then after the touchback, they get a 15-yard penalty. So Green Bay is starting off with great field position. They're probably 20 yards away from a field goal opportunity. So these are the mistakes. The mistakes start to compound fast on bad teams, and this is what happens. So yeah, a lot of these games are one-sided. The only game I'm really surprised about is the Carolina 17-0 over Atlanta. If I had to bet any of these games before they started, I wouldn't assume that Carolina would be doing that to Atlanta. Bengals getting stumped. See, you know what makes it worse is, Beast, what makes it worse is the Browns are not that far out of it. If they could execute, they could beat a team like Cincinnati week 1. They're in this game. If they could do anything offensively, they could be looking at 2-1, 2-0, 2-1, staring it down the barrel. Instead, they're just, looks like we're walking our way to a 0-3 start. So questions are going to keep mounting up. You making your way to 0-3. How you going to keep putting this quarterback out here and say he give us the best chance to win when you're scoring no points? If the Browns score 0, if they end this game with 0 points, you have to change the quarterback regardless of who you play next week. You have to. You have to. You're on the brink of being the Miami Dolphins and losing your team because they don't believe in the quarterback. Kevin Stefanski is not going to be able to do that. So it's some teams. We looking at this list. I want to tell you all the teams that I believe need quarterbacks in next year's draft. Pittsburgh is 1. Indiana's 2. Jets is 3. Saints is 4. We don't know about the Giants yet. That's at least 4 teams that you already know is going to need a quarterback. So for all the people who are saying, oh, the quarterback is in 2026, so Beast, that's a really good question. I would fire them. Do I think they're gonna get fired? I don't know. I would fire them though if it was up to me.
Love will set up the screen to Tucker Kraft, and Kraft on first down takes it out to the 42.
Ms. Duke, it is going to be a lot of pressure on Dylan Gabriel, but the Browns are creating this pressure. So they think they're putting out fires. Every time they wait to make a decision, they are creating another fire. And that's the issue. So I would fire them. You start 0-3, your defense is playing this way, your head coach is supposed to be an offensive guy, then you telling me we don't got players, I will fire both of them.
Give it to the motion man Golden, and Golden upended by his opposite number, Greg Newsome, about 1.5 yards short of a Green Bay first down.
Yeah, Grant Delpit he's a good player. We talk a lot about Denzel Ward and the coverage ability outside, but Grant.
It's funny that you said that, T. Wells. Shedeur Sanders can save his job if he swallows his pride. I said it before the season started. They was going to rip Shedeur out to plastic, and that he was going to be the saving grace. That's when they was going to use Shedeur. That was my assessment before the season start. I didn't foresee them starting like this. They almost get to Jordan Love. They flush him out the pocket. Carson Schwarzenegger, the big hit on Jordan Love. The big hit on Jordan Love. That was third down. 13-yard loss. I don't know why Jordan Love didn't throw that ball away. This is the defense just making play after play after play. Mr. Brown, you're correct. The owner did say he spoke really glowingly of them, but he did say they need to win more than they did last year. They're not looking like they're on pace to do that. Ms. Duke, you said what pride, referring to T. Wells. Even though you don't have the performance, that don't mean the pride isn't there. Usually the pride is the thing that's stopping you from making the change. So I would agree with T. Wells. I would say your pride is you saying, I know better than everybody else. We don't need to make changes. So I think that's what I would take that as when you said the pride. Kyler, 49, Carson Schwarzenegger is a beast. He is a bright spot. That play he just made was crazy good right there. So Jordan Love, I don't know what he's doing. It's 3rd and 1. You throw that ball away. You could potentially go for it there when you got a team reeling, you got a team on the ropes, but you lose 13 yards going into the fourth quarter. Now they're going to have to punt. Raul. Signed Cody Kessler today, sent a message. Cody Kessler is where he needs to be. He landed in a good spot. He is on. I'm gonna promo this. He is on. What is it? The Arena with Skip Bayless, Gerald McCoy, Aqib Talib. He is in a good spot on the couch, sitting there talking about football. We don't need to see Cody. We don't need to sign Cody Kessler to do nothing. We don't even need him to commentate the games. He's in a good spot where he's at. But you funny with that one going back to Cody Kessler, though. You were funny. They got to do something. They got to do something. They're about to get punted the ball. They should have some decent field position. The Browns got to do something with it. I'm really surprised at Atlanta not being able to score against Carolina. Pamela, Browns are terrible. I wish I could argue with you, but you are correct. The Browns offense is terrible. Browns defense is still playing like a number one defense. Browns offense, I got no argument for it. They got to do something different.
Bank Field in Cleveland, a 10-0 lead for the Green Bay Packers as we start the fourth quarter with a punt after the third 3-and-out pitch today by the Cleveland defense. DeAndre Carter is the deep man. Good punt by Whelan, forcing Carter back to the 9-yard line. Carter on a diagonal to the sideline, yanked down from behind at the 15 by McDuffie.
Raul, you got jokes. Miles Bubba Wallace Garrett will be asking for a trade again tomorrow. Man, don't do us like that. He's here. So I've been seeing something. Miles Garrett contract. If they trade him, it's gonna be like $80+ million in dead cap. So Miles Garrett not getting traded, unfortunately. He's stuck on the Browns. But let's see what the Browns offense does here. 14 minutes, 49 seconds left. Fourth quarter. Green Bay Packers are leading 10-0. The Browns have the ball. 1st and 10. Yeah, Kyler, I'm with you. Kyler, be careful on the all caps. My bot will get you. I agree. Get Joe out of here. It's time to make the switch. I don't know what they're waiting for.
And so started at the 25, 1st down and 10.
Beat their car. I wish they could. Shador is the emergency quarterback, so the only way he can go in is if Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel get put out.
When you look at this offense,
I say put Dylan Gabriel on. Put the supercomputer in. They're showing it right now. 0 scores on the last 8 drives for Joe Flacco in the last 2 games.
Flacco checks it short. That's Fannin, the young tight end who's been quiet today, ends up a yard short of the 1st down.
All right, 3rd and short. This is where you want to be. You have to get something here. You got to extend this drive. So Kevin Stefanski, get creative. Get the 1st down. Get the 1st down here. You have to get the 1st down here. All right, so we got somebody reporting eligible. I hope Shador be playing by the Jets game. I have a ticket. Oh, shout out to you, Ms. Brown. Let me look at the schedule.
Joku, but they just really struggled to find any type of those.
Heavy formation, extra lineman in on 3rd and 1 for Cleveland. Play action. Pressure up the middle from Quay Walker, and Flacco heaves it downfield. Bond didn't know it was coming, and it's 4th down and 1, and the crowd.
Joe Flacco just on the rollout play just threw the ball to nowhere. You got fans in the stands with Green Bay Packers stuff on just laughing at Flacco. I just don't know. I don't know. That's when you could have checked it down to Quinshon Judkins. You just threw the ball to air. I don't know what's happening. Let's see how many weeks before your game is here, Ms. Brown.
Has to be responsible for Quay Walker in pass protection.
And now 4th and 1. They'll line up with a heavy formation. They'll give it to Judkins. And
really close. It looks like Quinshon Judkins got the 1st down. We really need this. Raul, why are you bringing up all this hurt? Sign Josh Gordon, he'll light it up. Why are you bringing all this hurt? Why are you bringing all this hurt here? If they start Flacco next week, Browns are in tank mode. I think they're in tank mode. They're disguising it. But you definitely got to bench Joe Flacco. They can't move the ball. Mercy. Oh, you funny. Screaming mercy, game is over. That's crazy. Let's see what they do.
Man rush. Flacco deflected, almost intercepted by Edgerrin Cooper.
I'm starting to see a trend here. I think Joe Flacco is determining where he's going to go with the ball pre-snap. And that's a problem because the defenses are disguising what they're doing and switching up on you in most cases. So I think that's the problem he's running into. Ray Farmer is texting Kevin the plays. Man, Raul, you've been a Browns fan for a long time. Bring Johnny back. Bring Johnny back. Bring him back. Bring him back. Flacco, man. Flacco's going to get one of these receivers hurt. This is pathetic. Put the leprechaun in. Shout out to you, Don. Where you been at? Don, where you been at? It's been a while. Man, Raul, you've been a fan for a long time because you are bringing back some throwbacks of Ray Farmer being in the booth and telling them who to play and what to do. And bring Johnny Manziel back. I think he's in the UK and he's doing Uncle Ocho on Saturdays, but he can play in the game on Sundays. Flacco just said, I'm throwing it up. Cedric Tillman looks like he caught the pass, but he kind of pushed off. We need Manziel, Miss Duke. Browns organization and coaching is garbage. Why they don't realize Shador is the future. So this is what I believe. Offensive pass interference when Joe Flacco finally threw the ball up there. It's coming back. Cedric, you pushed off at the top of the route. They're going to show it. You pushed off for no reason. You pushed off for no reason. You pushed him on his face mask for no reason. You didn't need to push off there. Just crazy. Wasted a good play. Vegan Warrior, if the Browns admit Shador is the future, they then have to explain why they took Gabriel and wasted that pick. 3rd and 20.
One of the guys you watch on film, there's some potential there, but we're not getting that consistency.
3rd and 20.
3rd and 20.
Flacco tosses short. Fannin breaks first contact, and Fannin down at the 36-yard line still needs 9 for the first down. There is a flag down at the 25.
This is crazy.
On the far side.
Offside. Defense, number 1, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Micah Parsons lined up offsides. It's going to be, instead of 3rd and 20, it's going to be 3rd and 15. They're going to run that playback. Man, y'all funny, man. At least Johnny was fun to watch, both on and off the field. Funny thing is, I used to work on West 6. I met Johnny Manziel. He used to come to a restaurant I worked at, and super quiet, almost like shy person. You would never think his personality was like that. Man, come on, get my boy name right. He would not be 3rd string at Valley Forge. Don't play him like that. Shador is better than all these quarterbacks that are coming out this year in 2026. I'm scared Kevin will undermine 12 if he goes in. It's going to be a push and pull because Shador is going to see things in real time and want to make adjustments on the fly. Why 12 ain't playing yet? Big Dog 2018 is because they would have to admit their fault. We are punting the ball again. This is trash. They would have to admit that they drafted Dylan Gabriel for no reason. Dawn Adams, I know I turned on notifications. Mr. Smooth Voice, I appreciate it. Shout out to you. You gave me that compliment when you were on the live stream, so I appreciate it. Browns punted down this ball inside the 10. Let's go. Very good punt. Bojorquez might be our best player. I missed the days of seeing Dwayne Bowe riding the exercise ball. Raul. Hey, come to the front of the congregation. Let's have a talk. Man, why did we sign Dwayne Bowe so late in his career? All of them combinate. He was 2 years playing with no offensive line. Or I think you meant Vegan Warrior. I think you meant all of them. All of them combined, he was 2 years playing with no offensive line. Shador, that is correct. He is better. I think it's frustration what's going on. It's, you know what? I'm to the point where it doesn't really frustrate me. I'm kind of just laughing at it now. Is Dylan warming up? They're not showing Dylan Gabriel warming up, Dawn. I'll let you know when he comes back, when they show it on the screen. Cam Ward said Shador was the better QB. Ms. Duck, I agree with that. Shador was the better QB. Dylan ain't it. His Ninja Turtle build. So Big Dog, I don't think Dylan is it either, but Dylan Gabriel is the person we need to get through to get to Shador. So, hey, put him out there. Let's see what it is. Insert human here, 24-0 Packers. Man, I wish I had an argument to say you weren't right, but I don't. Dylan looks good only if you start Flacco. Hey, Dylan look like he could be the truth based on what Flacco's putting out here. Miss Duke, I think it's fair to dog out DG. He was drafted as a backup. You know, it's one of those things. I watched Dylan Gabriel in college. I watched his highlights. I don't see it. Sarah 16 on 3 put in DG. I agree. Big Dog 2018 too small. Dylan Gabriel is too small. I want to watch him lose as well. Sarah 16. I don't think Dylan Gabriel's gonna be that big of a difference. And Miss Duke, I meant unfair. I'm with you. It's okay. I understand. Dawn Adams, let Dylan play. The Leprechauns can't be worse. I said that last week. The rookies can't be no worse than what Flacco is doing. Big Dog 2018, look, you want to fill the stands, put 12 in. Look, you want to win games, put 12 in. Built different, brother. Big Dog 2018, I agree with you. T. Wells, Dylan will do better than Flacco. T. Wells, I also agree with you. Joe Flacco, people said Joe Flacco's going to fall off a cliff. Joe Flacco's still not that high. He's falling off the curb. He already fell. Vegan Warrior in college, he had one of the best lines. Dylan Gabriel had one of the best lines, and also he had some of the best skill position guys. Myles Garrett not in to start this drive. Not sure what's going on. Let's get the sound back.
Throw from the end zone, and he's incomplete. Now you've got it set up. You got a great bounce on the punt.
Small hands. Deep pedestrian looking to surf at Edgewater. Hey, Raul, you funny, man. You funny. Remember this comment. If Dylan starts coming into the second half, he'll throw interception, be sacked 3 times. Potentially. Let them see it. Oh, the players definitely have to be frustrated. The players definitely have to be frustrated, Ms. Brown, with Joe Flacco.
Jacobs up the middle, and Jacobs.
Insert human here. Brown's best offensive player is on defense. That's funny, but true, unfortunately. It's all about talent. Kevin, congrats. You created a QB controversy. Kevin did create this. Are there a lot of empty seats? It's not a lot of empty seats because Green Bay Packers fans are there. Flacco is 40, is not Brady at 40. I agree. 3rd and 7.
Love from the end zone down the sideline. Wide open. It's Golden. He is Golden with a first down out near the 40.
Raul, is touchdown Tommy available? Might be.
Going. There goes Tucker Kraft. He's going up. We're going to come down here, go outside. Number 9, Grant Delpit, doesn't know which guy to cover, and he's late getting over to Matthew Golden.
Come on, you can't put that on Grant Delpit. The coverage they ran, he can't defend both of them. So they put Delpit in conflict. So all he had to do was pick one. Whichever one that Delpit didn't go to, you just throw it to the other guy. That's not on him. They called the play that beat the coverage right there.
Down. Jacobs swallowed up in the backfield. Boy, huge penetration. I mean,
Mason Graham in the backfield again. Shelby Harris in the backfield again. They are not letting Josh Jacobs really do much in this game. So they are still playing. T. Wells. That's what I'm talking about. The quicker we can see Dylan, the quicker we can get to Shador. That's where I'm at with it. And it's starting to rain in Cleveland.
Well, the Packers looking for wide receiver. Christian Watson still out after the ACL rehab, and they lost.
Joe is not running. He's going to sit down and eat turf.
He's now on IR. Love buying time. Too tall.
Look at this.
Jacobs.
The defense is playing.
Incomplete. And before the.
All right, let me see. My bot got you. Let's see what you said. Insert human here. Well, you are correct. T. Wells, you are correct. I refuse to buy a Sanders jersey until I know he's going to play nor get traded. See, I don't think they're going to trade him. I think they are using him as their get-out-of-jail-free card. If this season just goes to crap, so much excitement is going to be around seeing Shador play and potentially him doing well that he could potentially save their job. Jimmy is going to play for the new stadium with expired pilot rebates. You funny. Raul, you funny. The Browns coaching is gas. Hey, This is what happens when you have a player like Shedeur sitting on the bench as the emergency quarterback, third string. The only way he can get in is if two guys get injured. People going to tune in to watch and see, are these guys better than him in front of him? And when you put guys who are not better than him in front of him, you got questions to ask yourself. The Browns defense is still sticking to it, forcing them to, they're going to have to punt. The Browns offense is going to get another opportunity, and they got to do something. This is a 2-score game with 9 minutes and 30-something seconds left in the fourth quarter. This is not an out-of-reach game. All right, so no, that already touched. So this is where you got to figure something out, and Joe Flacco has to face the scrutiny. The problem is, this is the problem they created. Joe Flacco is feeling the pressure. He doesn't have the talent to overcome these things, and that's what they're putting out here. It's not getting any better. So Joe Flacco is just the one that they're putting out here to take all the bullets, but really a lot of the bullets should be going to the head coach, who is not giving them the answers to the test with ways to win. Let's get to these comments. All right, let's go. Miss Duke, so they're using Shedeur for all it's worth. That's what I believe. I believe they're using Shedeur, and they're going to use him like he get out of jail free card. Big Dog 2018. He needs to be let go, though. Wasted talent. It seems like the Cleveland Brown organization don't appreciate him. I know if I'm going to play for a team, I want to be appreciated. This is what I believe. I think they are secretly appreciating him in the background, and they are not showing it in the media for whatever reason. Who's next? Dawn. It was a tsunami at the start of the game. Yeah, the weather's going crazy there. The weather's going crazy right now. Raul. Barcarius Mingo has more Super Bowl rings than Garrett. Yeah, that's what happens when you go to the Patriots. Adam, keep the offense off the field. This is embarrassing. Unfortunately, Adam, I agree with you. The offense is looking very bad. Vegan Warrior, I've never watched a game hoping QBs go down for the third QB. This is weird as hell. Vegan Warrior, that is the exact reason why Shedeur didn't want to go to Philly and he didn't want to go to Baltimore. He would have to hope that guys get injured in front of him so he can play. Unfortunately, he ended up in a position where you have guys who have to cover themselves for drafting a guy who they shouldn't have taken in Dylan Gabriel, because it's obvious now that they should have took whatever the top offensive lineman on the board at pick 94. They should have took the top offensive lineman. Big Dog Facts. Do the Browns have two-way players? Keep them in. Hey, just put Denzel Ward in that receiver. He probably can make a play. Danny Shelton, 5 more tackles downfield. Raul with all of the unsung heroes for the Browns that went somewhere else. He's 41. Let him go to Disneyland with his family. Facts. Let's see what the Browns do here. Browns coaches are stupid, taking losses because they are idiots. That's it. That's that stubborn pride I believe T. Wells is talking about.
Bond in motion. Handoff. Judkins. Nice move. And the
great play.
Good run all the way
great play by Judkins there.
14-yard pickup and a first down for Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah, I really do think they found something really good here with Quinshon Judkins. You know, one-on-one right out there with Javon Bullard. That's a guy who's really popped on film. I mean, this whole secondary. They're good players.
Why is Jake Paul going to fight Rizzo's wife? They getting into it? Brown sabotage Sanders in that last preseason game. Unforgivable. I'm going to turn the volume off to talk about what you just said, Vegan Warrior. I was calling it right away. Big run for Quinshon Judkins. Let's go. Big run. Stiff arm. All right, we're in Green Bay territory. Quinshon Judkins is carrying the team on his back right now. Dorica, I feel you. You see where Raul tripping, Eddie. So they're going to run the ball. It's crazy. Now they run the ball. Quinshon has been available to do this all game. It's all weird. It's all weird. This is what I would say. What I noticed in the Rams game was Kevin Stefanski could not beat cover one. If you look at the defense that the Browns have been facing the most of, it's been cover one. Cover one is man-to-man because we know you're not going to go deep, and it's cloud in the middle of the field. And that's where Joe Flacco loves to go. All right, a couple yards on first down there. Shedeur is their franchise quarterback, and they have to exhaust all other options. Agreed. They got to go through everybody else before they get to Shador to make it seem like they just stumbled upon Shador, or so they can come out in the media and say, we built Shador up to where he is. Even though, everybody watching knows Shador is better than the two quarterbacks they haven't had him.
Of note against Dallas, but come the bye week, that should no longer be a conversation.
All right, Allison, thanks so much. Flacco finding Fannin on second down, and Fannin breaking tackles. A first down, and it's the rookies leading the Browns.
Oh, Raul, don't do my boy like that. Shador, I'm willing to stand on this, and this is recorded. Y'all gonna be able to come back to this. Y'all can hold the receipts. Shador is gonna be the best quarterback out this draft class. Shador is gonna be the best quarterback out this draft class that he's in. Mark my words. Raul, you say some funny stuff about the Browns, which I think is funny, but Shador is gonna be the best quarterback out this draft class. Mark my words. You will see it.
Cross hand to Judkins up the middle, and Judkins ran into Carl Brooks. And Brooks said, nope, 1 yard, that's all I'm giving you.
All right.
And here's
Stefanski.
Stefanski,
what are you going to do to get them in a touchdown?
They've been good with 10-play drives. They've been good with time of possession. It's finishing down here.
Big dog, you see what I'm saying? Shador is going to be the best one out this draft class.
Is a strong run game, really helps you out. And with Quinshon Judkins, you know, that's a plus. Jerome Ford's still in that lineup right now, though.
Second and 9. Could not get Tillman's attention to set him in motion. Flacco looking for the end zone, incomplete.
I don't know who he was throwing it to there. Let me get to y'all comments real quick. God's love. No one believed they can build anyone. Browns always losing. They are. Big Dog 2018. And if he would have had an offensive line like Gabriel had, Colorado's squad would be even better. I agree. Vegan Warrior, no, he won't. At Browns, if they sabotage a rookie to save face, he'll be traded first before his best. I don't think they're going to trade Shador. I think this regime is going to get fired, and then I think the next regime will come in and realize they got a QB on the roster already. Man, what is Flacco doing? Anybody saying negative things about Sanders has obviously not watched what he did in college, in high school and in college. Instigator, I agree. They haven't watched him usually when they say those things. Kyler, GG had a below average line at Oklahoma and still was pretty good. Yeah, that was at Oklahoma, but if you look at it, when they talk about what Dylan Gabriel did, they always go back. Dawn, my bot got you, but I saw your comment. I agree with you as well about the Shador. I think that's what you're agreeing about. Yeah, they said about Oklahoma, but remember, they always talk to what he did at Oregon. And Oregon, you can't say he had below average offensive line. And then compare his Oklahoma offensive line to Shador's offensive line in Colorado is no comparison.
And it's Judkins to the 5, Parsons on the tackle.
First and goal from the 5. It was a defensive penalty there. The Browns were following orders from the NFL. Nobody getting fired. Nobody significant. See, I disagree. If the Browns win more than 3 games, I think they'll be fine. But based on this, they can't score on offense. The offense is this bad. I think, Raul, what did Josh Allen do in college? What did Lamar do in college? What did Mahomes do in college? That doesn't translate. College and NFL are 2 different games if you look at the style of play. If you look at the style of play, college is about the hashes. The NFL is not about the hashes. It's 2 different styles of games. What you want to find in a college QB is you want to look at their decision-making. You want to see how they adjust and how they deal with pressure. It doesn't matter if they played against this school or this school. Because when people say that, 13-12 against competition, they always say that. But then once you say the next counterpoint is what star in the NFL that's a QB went against this crazy talent in college? You can't find it. Jerry Jeudy looks like he was held, so they should be moving this to the 1-yard line. I like DG. He's a QB2. Sanders a QB2 will work. Miss Duke. So they're trying to score. Gigi, you see it? It seemed like they weren't trying to score the whole game. David Jumper, rather see Shador in, but I can wait. Go ahead and put Dylan in. David, I agree with you there. I feel like you. Ms. Duke, I mean, Sanders is QB1. He going to get there. We going to see him eventually. Beast, you see it. Raul is hating. Raul was saying some funny stuff at first, but then the darkness comes to the light, and then the true colors show. He really just a Shador hater. Cleveland doesn't know about a quality quarterback, you can tell. But obviously what I'm telling you isn't wrong about quality QB play. I'm gonna tell you something that where people mess up with QBs. In college, you want a QB that has experience. You want a QB that can make all the throws necessary that translate to the game. You want a QB that can handle pressure, and then you build off of those things. You also want a QB that's had enough starts. So if you just think about what I just said about college QBs, every top quarterback in the NFL right now, all of the top 10, all of them have those traits that I just identified. None of them just go based on, oh, they beat Alabama and Georgia, and that equals good QB. Who did Mac Jones beat in college? Is Mac Jones a good QB? So I'll laugh and joke with you, but if you really want to get deep and you want to talk about what it takes to be a QB, we can break it down. I can give it to you right off the top of my head with no notes. I'll laugh and joke with you. Oh my goodness. Illegal chop block on the Browns. That's probably going to put us back 10 yards. All right, let's keep going. I actually want to see DG play. I don't think he's better than Shador, though. I agree with you, GG. Raul, 1-8 against ranked teams. That's what Kyler said. Green Bay Packers is not that good. Cleveland's just sorry. David, I'm going to disagree with you there. Green Bay Packers defense is really good, so I'm going to disagree with you on that point. Their offense is good enough, so I'll say that. Shador is way better than DG. It's obvious. I would agree with that. Raul need a flea flicker from the 2. Funny, but it's funny how once we really got to start talking that QB talk, you switch back to the Browns. I think that's kind of funny. The Browns are going backwards, and it looks like they're only going to be able to get a field goal out of this. This is not what you want to see from your offense. This is not what you want to see. This is when you need to get a touchdown and keep it where you only need to go for a field goal.
Happened in the struggles that this offense will have moving forward. An opportunity.
Vegan Warrior, that's the old days. In the new NIL, many of these players are just going to bounce around 4 years or more. Shaking my head. I agree they're going to bounce around, but it still goes to the level of starts and what they actually do. Browns playing for the field goal there. Number 20 for the Green Bay Packers is down. He looks hurt. It looks like it was a helmet to helmet. They got to get somebody out there for him. They got to get somebody out there for number 20 for Green Bay. All right, they got people out there. He's down. See, that's why if you notice the things that I said that makes a good QB, they weren't tied to just going against one team. It's a certain number of starts. It's a certain number of what do you think the Browns people are saying the Browns are tanking intentionally? I think people are saying that. I think people, the local Browns media has said that the Browns are trying to find their quarterback in 2026. So to me, that would mean that you're not really trying to go out there and win. But it's key points. It is a makeup that you find that determines what the future QB will have less and less starts. I don't think so, because remember, they still got to play 3 years. So even if they bounce around, they still going to have starts. Take Caden Salter for Colorado. Look how many starts he has. He's been starting for a couple years. Look at the top QBs who went number 1 overall the last couple years. They still have a certain amount of starts. I think QBs will stay in school longer because of the NIL money. They'll stay an extra year when they probably will leave. So that's what I think. I think it'll be the opposite. Guys used to run out of college because they couldn't make the money, and they would run to the NFL. What would Mary Kay do? Mary Kay is going to say that Kevin Stefanski is a great coach, and it's all Andrew Berry's fault. So I think guys are going to play longer, and just my number is at minimum 25 starts in college, but I would prefer 30. Okay. Look it up. Vegan Warrior, just look it up. Find me how many quarterbacks that came out in the last 5 years with less than 25 starts in college. I'm not just saying this just to say it. Look it up. Look it up. If you don't believe me, look it up. How many quarterbacks have been drafted into the NFL with less than 25 starts the last 5 years? Vegan Warrior, you will see what I'm saying is true. And then look up the top 15 quarterbacks in the NFL, how many starts they had in college. Majority of them had more than 25 starts. Just look it up. These are hard numbers. This is not my opinion. These are hard numbers that you can find. Just look it up. There's not a QB in 26 better than the two you got. I'm not that big. I'm not the biggest Sellers fan. Okay. So let's do something. Let's play a game. Let's play a game. If you can name the one quarterback that comes to mind, would you say that's the majority or the minority of people? If you can name it, that means it doesn't happen enough. That means it would be the minority. Tony Gursky is going to have a conniption fit if DG don't play the last 2 minutes. Hey, Tony Gursky going to flip. He's not going to play because it's down to one score. This is going to be Joe Flacco. No, that's not my point. I'm saying many. Let me read. Let's see what your point is. No, that's not my point. I'm saying many of them will bounce around and enter into more QB comps than if they stayed on one or two teams than in the past. So what does that have to do with them having the number of starts that I'm speaking on? Even if they bounce around, if you are good and you're going to be a top pick, you're going to play. If you come in as a solid 5-star, a lot of cases you can play in your first year. Or you play in your second year. 25 starts is not that many starts. They play 11 games a year. That's less than 2.5 years of starts that I'm calling for. That's not that many starts. It sounds like it. When you hear the numbers, it sounds like it. 25 starts. That is 2 years of starts in 3 games. That's not that many starts. Even if you bounce around, if you don't win a QB competition in college, how could you be good in the NFL? That cancels itself out. If Arch Manning couldn't beat out Quinn Ewers. Arch Manning has a low amount of starts. And it looks like he has a low amount of starts. He doesn't look that good. So if you just go with the logic, I put in the number for a very specific reason, because then it'll prove out only the best ones will have that many starts. They continuously have found ways to bury Shador in the depth chart. Today, a video came out of Shador. Have you seen it? Are you talking about the interview where they were asking Shador about him being with the practice squad, them having a bond, him going against the first team defense? Okay. Vegan Warrior. Number 20 was a DB. They won't win all the comps. Okay. So let's talk through it. Outside sweep to Matthew Golden. The Browns look like they stop it. Short game. He might have got 3 yards. Okay, let's talk our way through this. If I'm a freshman and I go in and I don't win a job, I'm not as good as the person who starts ahead of me. We agree on that. Okay. As a sophomore, I move. I go to another school. I don't win a job. I moved to another school. I'm on my 3rd school in 3 years. I'm now eligible after that season to go to the NFL. Why would anybody draft me if I couldn't beat out other college quarterbacks? That's my point. How bad do you have to be if you can't beat out other quarterbacks in college? That's my point. My point is, okay, so injury, they probably will go back. But that still doesn't refute what I'm saying. You're probably not good enough if you can't beat out other college QBs. Shout out to you, GG. I appreciate you. It's only been a couple college quarterbacks who've been drafted into the NFL who haven't beat out other quarterbacks and they flamed out. Like somebody said, Mitch Trubisky, he couldn't beat out other quarterbacks. He didn't start to year 3. He flamed out in the NFL. So I would never take Mitch Trubisky because he couldn't beat out quarterbacks in college. Anthony Richardson, he only has about 13 starts in college. I wouldn't take him because he hasn't had enough starts in college. You see what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is I would just cancel those guys out. They wouldn't be an option. If like Arch Manning is not an option for me. Oh my goodness. The Browns got an interception. Grant Delpit, he might be able to run it back. Where does he end up? Browns are going to be inside the 5-yard line. Wow.
The first Green Bay turnover of the season. The first Cleveland takeaway of the season. And the Browns first and goal down a touchdown in the 4th.
This is crazy. Jordan Love throws an interception. Grant Delpit, he returns it all the way inside the 5. Browns got a chance to get this thing tied up.
Tucker Kraft. Oh, what a great job. You're trying to fit that into Dontavian Wicks.
Nobody touched him on the ground either.
By Jordan Love. You saw all of the Cleveland defenders in that area. I think that he felt that Grant Delpit would run with Tucker Kraft, and he dropped him and slid right back into
he threw it right to him
on the slant.
First interception.
Beacon Warrior, let me flip it. Let me explain it this way. If you look at quarterbacks who usually make it to the NFL and don't do well and they bounce around teams, most of them have less than 25 starts. That's pass interference. We're going to get the ball at the 1-yard line. Joe Flacco was looking for Cedric Tillman. Okay, but if you look at the success, if you sort all the quarterbacks and you start with starts before you go anywhere else, starts is the first thing I would start with to determine if I would take somebody. Because otherwise it's going to be a long project. So if you're the Browns and you're saying we need a quarterback that's going to come in right away and we need them to be good, what's one thing you'll need them to have? First, you got to start with starts. They had to have seen enough football to be good. Quinshon Judkins for the touchdown.
It's a Cleveland touchdown.
Oh, man, this is so Cleveland.
And the Browns are an extra point away from tying it up in the 4th.
Do y'all see the up and down of being a Browns fan? This game was so bad that I wasn't even having the volume on anymore, but I clearly still watching it. And the Browns somehow end up tying this game up. This is insane. This is being a Cleveland Browns fan. Y'all got to see it all in one game. We want the coach fired. The offense is bad. The offense is still bad, but somehow they tied the game.
Extra point try.
It's crazy.
Good snap and hold, and the kick right down the middle.
And it's a tie game with 3 minutes to go. This is insane. This is insane.
The 4th and a 10-10 game, and the
They scored because Jordan Love threw an interception to Grant Delpit. Grant Delpit ran it down to inside the 5-yard line. On first down, they went to throw the ball. They got pass interference, so they put it at the 1, and then they just ran it in from the 1-yard line with Quinshon Judkins.
Love Kevin Stefanski just.
Yeah, Green Bay still got a lot of time. Green Bay has a lot of time. The Browns defense, though, is not giving up in this game. So that's the key. Quinshon Judkins, 18 carries, 94 yards and a touchdown. He's having a solid game. He really went off in the second half here. So that's a plus. Flacco really didn't do much at all this entire game, not just even on that drive. Flacco really ain't did much. It's crazy because now just go down the road. If the Browns win this game, people are going to say, oh, but you won, so keep Flacco in. All right, Green Bay with the kick return to the 40-yard line. 2 minutes and 52 seconds to go, 10-10. Cleveland has 1 timeout. Green Bay has 2 timeouts. Let's see what happens.
Hadn't had a turnover all year. They finally get that turnover, and this time they cash in.
What, 10 points in how many seconds?
37 seconds.
I mean, we haven't done anything all day long. It's just 37 seconds, and we're right there. Now you're turning it over to your defense. Can your defense get another stop and give you an opportunity maybe to go down and have a chance to kick a field goal to win this game? If you're going to turn it over to somebody, I don't think there's a better group in the NFL right now than it.
Kyler, I agree with you. I still say get Flacco out, and it's time to move on from him. This game is going to buy him another game, unfortunately.
For the Packers, but this crowd is into it. Love.
Miles is getting held.
Floats it down the sideline, incomplete. He wanted Romeo Doubs, and here comes the flag. Miles Harden on the coverage, and the penalty's dropped.
Pass interference number 26, defense. Ball will be placed at the spot of foul, automatic first down.
Miles Harden had good coverage there. He put on his jersey a lot on that play. Yeah, that's pass interference. You to pull his shoulder pads out. Don, now watch what they do. Just like that, 15-yard penalty. Loss in OT is coming. Hopefully if you're gonna lose, just losing regulation, so we don't got to stay longer than we need to. I can't be happy for Junkins and see Shedeur bench. Junkins should be benched too. The thing is, it's no way they was gonna bench Junkins. Now Green Bay is moving the ball. This is bad. Can you imagine a turnover? A turnover would be great, but now Green Bay was just going through the motions in the second half, and now the pressure's on. The odds of winning probably jumped a lot for the Browns. Let's see. Hold on, it's still showing Green Bay at 77% after the last play. Maybe because where they at on the field. Beast, yeah, I was surprised by the Falcons too. That's what I have on my TV. So when I'm looking to the right, I'm looking at the Falcons game, and GG, you wasn't supposed to catch that.
Cleveland has 1 timeout left.
Yeah, when I'm looking to the right, that is that Carolina and Atlanta game. So I'm real surprised that they did that. Green Bay is showing 81% to win after that last play. They got the ball in Cleveland 22. If they win, Flacco is out. I think they want to give him some dignity on his way out. Junkins was the top 3 running back in the country last year. They can't bench him. Yeah, he was one of the top running backs. And if you look at his production this year, Falcons 0. Oh my goodness, 30-0. Man, that's crazy. To Carolina is crazy. Junkins was the top running back, and if you look at his production coming into the year so far, he's going to jump right to the leaderboard of rookies in his production already. So, yeah, Flacco, they game. Tim Moss, game. Okay, game not on D. Oh, it's bad. Okay, got you. Yeah, the offense is really bad. That's why I think if it comes down to it, Highways and really surprised scored 10. Miss Duke, Junkins just breathed life into the game. Bench him for what? Yeah, I don't think bench Junkins. Definitely bench Flacco. It's gonna come back to it. I don't think Green Bay gonna get a touchdown. I don't think Flacco can drive a full length of the field and score a touchdown. He hasn't shown that ability, so I don't think he's going to be able to do it now. The defense, if they hold Green Bay to 3 points, then you can say, okay, the Browns probably have a shot. But it's up in the air. We got to see. So we have to see. Cut Flacco. All Green Bay need is a field goal. Let's see. Let's look at the timeouts. 2-minute warning. I think the Browns have 2 timeouts, if I'm not mistaken. Tim, I agree with you. The defenders got a reason to fight. Yes, they did. They got some motivation. Nothing wrong with the offense. Back office and coaching is clueless. The thing is, I think the offense could potentially be better if it was a little bit more creative. I felt like he should have been benched for the legal issues. The thing, legal issues got cleared up, GG. They decided not to press charges, so the legal issues got cleared up for Junkins. Like, comment, subscribe. If this is your first time here, I do this for every Browns game. I also go live throughout the week. So like, comment, and subscribe so y'all can be here.
Range, the handoff is Jacobs, and Jacobs gets a yard. The ball may have popped out late. Timeout is going to be used. It's covered by Green Bay. Jacobs still with the football. And Cleveland will use its final timeout.
Oh, they did punch it out.
Ball was out.
Bush, great job. We mentioned him last week, an opportunity to get an interception in the end zone when they were down at the goal line.
Shout out to you, Ms. Duke. I appreciate that.
Has a great way of punching that. Does he have it?
That's the question. At the bottom of the pile, does Bush
Vegan Warrior, I agree. You're definitely asking to be average if you can't find your QB1.
Defense thinks he does.
So Devin Bush.
What is it on the field?
Devin Bush punched his ball out as Josh Jacobs was going down. It looks like Devin Bush recovered the ball. They are trying to determine who has possession of the ball right now. Dawn, you're right. Shador did beat Carolina in the preseason. He beat them without – it's a booth review right now. He beat them without even getting all the reps leading up to the game.
They've got it.
Oh, shout out to you, Ms. Duke. You was right. The Browns had one turnover. The Packers had two. The Browns used their one.
Punches it out. It's on the ground. He grabs it and goes to pull it towards his body. Josh Jacobs is kind of sitting on his side trying to reach out and grab it. You can see it kind of goes away, and then watch him come in with his right hand right there.
Boy, it's so hard to tell what happens at the bottom
I
of that
think that's got to stay the way they called it on the field, because Josh Jacobs does get that right arm back quicker than I thought he did.
And it's called
Dante Moore.
The field. Mike Pereira, what are you seeing as Carl Cheffers continues to look at it?
Kyler, where does Dante Moore play?
This is the play where you've got to see the clear recovery. Is the ball out? It does appear that the ball is out. But again, there's nothing that was ruled on the field. So there was no official ruling as to who recovered the ball because they ruled him down. So now you got to get a clear recovery in the pile. You've got to see it. See who has possession. Who comes out of the pile doesn't count. It's can they see, who's got it before it's in the pile. Otherwise, it just stays. If they can't determine that, it will stay as the runner being down.
Boy, with Mike's description,
Big dog, your defense can win games.
Devin Bush has the best case of possession.
It really does, but there's not a great look with all those bodies on that pile of any clear recovery, at least from the angle we saw. Now, Carl Cheffers, for a moment, was about to take the headset off. And I will say there are a few Browns offensive players trickling out onto the field. See, the white gloves are worn by Devin Bush. The yellow glove by Jacobs.
But does he have the ball?
Yeah, right, correct. And who has the ball in there?
Does he have his glove on the ball, or does he have the ball in his possession?
Can understand the link.
40-year-old QB and a 5'9" left-hand QB. NFL's proven anyone can be a coach.
Third and final charge timeout, Cleveland.
And you understand.
So they awarded the ball to Green Bay. They couldn't. It wasn't enough to overturn it. Kevin Stefanski is super animated. Dante Moore, quarterback for Oregon. He's a sophomore so far on the year. 962 yards, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. 83 QBR, top 20 QBR in the nation. Okay.
You see that shot right there? They're still fighting for it, and it really looks like Josh Jacobs had the better possession.
2nd and 9. Here's Jacobs again. Blasted in the backfield. Falls forward to the 23. No timeouts left for Cleveland. They used their last one a moment ago. The Packers are going to continue to run this clock down as much as they can.
Beast, you see it. It's crazy, man. The Browns, they got some of the best and the worst luck in the world. So it's 3rd and 10. Let's see if Green Bay is just going to try to kill the clock and put the ball in their, rely on their defense.
3rd down and 10. Jacobs again, and we have flags. Yeah, that's going to back about 5.
Yeah, Tiffany, if you were talking about when I was reading Dante Moore's stats, Dante Moore, he do sound solid. He's a sophomore, 6'3", so he's a tall quarterback. So I got to check him out. I haven't tapped into Oregon. I've been watching a lot of the draft-eligible QBs, but as the season goes, especially as you get into Big Ten play and some of the better teams play, I'm definitely going to check out Dante Moore. So it looks like Green Bay was pushed back 3rd and 15, a minute and 12 seconds to go in the game.
That was a huge mistake.
3rd and 15. Love turns and gives to Jacobs again, and Jacobs fights to the 25. Myles Garrett with the tackle, 2-yard pickup. It's 4th down.
So at this point, it's under a minute to go. I'm guessing the Packers going to let this thing run down. I'm guessing they're going to let this thing run down and then call a timeout with under 30 seconds to go in the game. Kick a field goal, kick it back to the Browns.
Shifted with the interception.
This was a perfect game for Sanders to show off. Yeah, they could have did some things. All right, let's get to Red. Let's see what your message was. My bot got you, but let's check out your message. All right, 27 seconds left to go in the game when Green Bay calls a timeout. All right, you don't judge a QB based on what they do on a solid team with great players around them. I think they works would be judged when they are struggling and put in uncomfortable situations. That's when you judge. So it's a bunch of different ways that I judge college QBs. Browns need cheerleaders, so at least the fans will have something to watch in the game. Dang. So when I'm looking at these college QBs, so I got a series that I'm doing where I'm breaking down college QBs. This is it. It's up on the screen right now. I'm going to do a live stream on Tuesday morning. These are the QBs I'm breaking down. So I'm watching all the games from Drew Aller. Let me get y'all some sound on for the field goal kick, and I'll repeat after.
On the right hash, Daniel Whelan the hold. The kick is blocked.
They blocked the kick. Oh, my goodness.
The Browns get the swat and turn the Packers away.
Wow.
One of the areas that we talked about when we were visiting with the Packers, it was penalties and it was special teams. The big hand inside, number 93,
Shelby
Harris gets the block and almost a scoop and score. Greg Newsome there. I mean,
Shelby Harris gets his hand. He blocks the kick. I don't know why Greg Newsome fell on the ball. Hey, Vegan Warrior, you might be right. Michael Parsons jumped off sides. Oregon QB room is solid. Vegan Warrior, you might be right when you said that overtime and lose.
It begs mentioning. Andre Schmidt hit a
23 Hill Jr. Oregon running back
in the UFL 2 years ago, but we saw him in week 1. He missed a field goal and he missed an extra point. You're getting close to where you would try the long one for the win in regulation.
And we saw him going this direction at 58. Struck it well. We felt maybe he's right on that 61-yard area, even here outside the 61-yard or UFL inside.
GG is wild, ain't it? It's wild.
You're getting close.
But what a great story, right? A tough off season for Andre.
So they are saying that he can kick it from 60 plus. So if they probably get like another 5 or 6 yards, they're going to let him line up to kick it. This is crazy.
That game last week makes all his kicks, and here he is now on the cusp of getting an opportunity to win this game.
2nd and 2. Flacco floating it down for Judy near the 25. Clock stops with the incompletion. 12 seconds left. Valentine and Hobbs flanking Judy on that sideline, and now 3rd down and 2. Just outside the 45-yard line.
Yeah, they are. They're scratching and clawing trying to get this win.
Inbounds, you probably don't have time to get that field goal unit out there.
No, you don't have time. You can do it
New
in
overtime rules this
16,
season.
Vegan
Warrior is good. My body's aggressive. Coach beat the brace off the Titans. Yeah, I was looking at that. They was blowing them out.
Flacco sets over the middle. It's caught by Njoku, but this ball.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Can they get set? 3 seconds, they do. And spike it with 2 seconds left and give Andre Schmidt a chance.
Great job with the clock. I'm thinking they're going to try to run out if it goes, tackled in bounds and they got to run the kicking team out. They do the clock scenario. And
man, what is this? This is crazy. What is happening in this game? Oh, my goodness.
Getting into the position to get it down and give Andre Schmidt an opportunity.
55 yards for the win.
I think Green Bay is going to ice him.
Used by Green Bay. Their last timeout.
All right. Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. They're about to go with a 55-yard kick. 2 seconds to go. They're going to ice him. Real quick, I'm going to tell you all the 8 college QBs that I'm looking at. I'm going to do this on Tuesdays. Let me drop that up there for y'all. So I'm looking at Carson Beck, Fernando Mendoza, Lenora Sellers, Garrett Nussmeier, Sam Levitt, Arch Manning, Kate Kubik, and Drew Aller. So what I look for is if they are playing a bad team. So if they're playing Indiana State or something like that, I want to see a quarterback dominate. And then when they're playing good teams, I want to see how they handle the pressure and how they handle everything that's thrown at them and their decision-making. About to kick it, y'all.
Good snap. Good hold. The kick is on the way. The kick is good. The kick is good. And Andre Schmidt.
He made the kick, y'all.
To give the Browns a 13-10 win.
He made the kick.
The flag on the sidelines is going to be offsides against the Packers. And Andre Schmidt does it.
Defense. Penalties decline.
Wow.
The game is over.
Congratulations to Kevin Stefanski for making a tough decision to stay with Andre Schmidt after week 1. His first opportunity.
Don said witchcraft.
I'm sure there was a lot of
wow.
Browns fans calling for a change, and he would not entertain that thought. And he brought him back.
Hey.
He made all his kicks last week.
Gigi, they answered my call. They won or lost. They did it. they actually did it during the game. This is crazy. This is crazy. Wow. I'm stunned. I don't even really know what happened right now. This is crazy. This is really crazy. I don't even know. He went and jumped in the dog pound. Yes, the defense saved this game. The football gods now, the garbage coaching continues. Hey, man, this is just
effort, and we pointed out those were the 2 guys.
This is wild. This is wild. Just insane. Dang, oh my goodness. Another block kick. Yeah, we stuck with Flacco. We stuck with Flacco. Shout out to you, Highways. I appreciate you. I don't even know what to say after this game. This definitely is some hope. This is definitely some hope. Dang, I'm surprised. I did not think the Browns were going to pull this thing off. Mrs. Brown, yeah, they gave the game away. Green Bay you can't let teams just stay too close. So they let the Browns hover around, and with the Browns defense, the Browns capitalize on the opportunity. So, hey, Schmidt happens. LaFrance George, I can't believe this. Me too. This is crazy. Yeah, that's what I would say. Vegan Warrior, that's the perfect way to put it. Good job is all you can say. The defense really decided that they weren't going to lose this game, and Green Bay just didn't take the game when they had the opportunity. So this is crazy. This is another week of Joe Flacco. Ken B, I'm a Packers fan and I'm a Shador fan. This is bittersweet. Let me read the rest of your message. I'm a Packers fan and I'm a Shador fan. This is bittersweet. I wanted my team to win and I wanted the Browns to lose for different reasons. Hey, I get it. I don't think anybody saw this one coming. Hey, shout out to you, Cuzzo. Hey, they got one. Tiffany says, free 12. Time to go buy my 12 jersey. Gigi say he gonna play. Flacco is the person who he get the participation trophy, but he definitely didn't do anything to win this. Dawn, oh well. Tim Moss going to be a few folks out of their minds. Game ball, the entire defense for sure. Hey, Jeffrey, let's go. Jeffrey, I was wondering where you was at. I thought you was dodging us because of DJ Lagway. Jeffrey, hopefully you've been here the whole time. You was riding with us. Vegan Warrior, free Shador, win or lose. Mrs. Brown, that kicker, never probably miss. Mrs. Brown, you want to know something crazy? The kicker is partially the reason why the Browns lost the first game because he was missing kicks, which is crazy. Flacco was horrendous for 59 minutes. Adam, I agree. Albert C, how do we win that? I don't know. I'm still sitting here kind of in shock that they won. Miss Duke, Flacco needs to go. I totally agree. Dawn, shout out to you. I'll see you next time as well. So this is not what I expected to happen. I thought the Browns would get blown out. I'm hyped. I'll take the win. Beast, you're right. You can't make this up. This is crazy. So I'm going to take the win. I'm going to take the wins when we get the wins because the Browns, we just haven't won a lot in the last couple of years. The Packers kicker. I see what you're saying, Ms. Brown. Yeah, but it's something that happened where he got his kick blocked at the end of the Philly and LA Rams game. They got a kick block and Philly ran it back for a touchdown. So just something funky is happening at the end of games. Dawn, a win is a win. We'll take it. Jeffrey, I feel you. Floppo, that's funny. Hey, for real. Sally, a win is a win. I'm going to take it. Hey, you're never going to hear me as a Browns fan being upset that we won. I'm just in shock because you definitely – another kick is blocked. So the Jets just blocked a kick. The Jets just blocked a kick for Tampa Bay, and they ran it back for a touchdown. The Jets just tied the game up versus Tampa Bay. What is happening? What is happening in the NFL right now? That's 3 block kicks at the end of games. I don't know what's happening. Let me see if I can get this sound on for y'all. What is happening?
Jets special teams coming up huge. Let's take a look at Will McDonald. Hops over legally, hops over the offensive line.
The Jets just blocked a kick too. This is crazy. So, hey, shout out to y'all. This has been great. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll be going live tomorrow. I'm thinking maybe 10:30, 11. Right, special team coaching jobs available. Hey, it's about 4 teams that's needing a special teams coordinator. Flacco looks bad. It looks even worse with the tackle situation. Because, I agree. Flacco looks horrendous. The win is going to save Flacco one more week, but it would have been spooky hours if the Browns wouldn't have scored any points. Yeah, it would have been spooky hours if the Browns wouldn't have scored no points. So just insane. Everybody is going to be looking for special teams coordinators and kickers and everything. So I'll be live tomorrow, either 10:30 a.m. or 11. Haven't decided yet. Look out for the notification. I'll also be going over some college QBs on Tuesday morning. So, hey, I'm going to take my win. It's going to be a victory Monday tomorrow. I'm going to take it. I'm not going to feel any type of way. I still want Flacco on the bench, but I'm going to take, a win is a win. I don't feel like the Browns are taking intentionally. If they keep running Flacco out here, if he have a couple more bad weeks, I would have to disagree. But, hey, a win is a win. Yeah, they got to get to Shador. Way to finish the game. Vegan Warrior, shout out to you. I appreciate it. Shout out to all of y'all being here. I'm here live for every Browns game. I also go live a couple times during the week. We're going to recap some things this week. This is going to be our first Victory Monday. So shout out to y'all. I appreciate everybody being here. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all tap in. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Thank you.